All right, we are just about set to kick things off. There is Matt Wells, 6th year at Utah State, record of 38-33. And he knows all about the traditions, everything that makes this program tick, having played here as a quarterback. He graduated in 1996, and he's been on the staff now for 8 years, 6 years as the head coach. And there is Tony Sanchez in his 4th year at UNLV. The record 14-27, a little deceiving. Really had to build the program back up. 3 wins his first year, 4 wins his second year, 5 wins his third year. This is that key 4th year. It looked like they were tracking towards 6+ wins before their starting quarterback went down in Armani Rogers. So they're gonna have to find a way to get some wins without their stud sophomore quarterback. UNLV won the toss. They elected to defer, so they'll get the ball at the start of the 3rd quarter, and they will kick things off. Gerald Bright is deep for the Aggies. Evan Pantel is to kick things off for the Rebels. And here we go, Mount West football on Facebook. And that kick is gonna go out of bounds. A good field position to start for Utah State, and it is a very explosive offense. They average more than 50 points per game. That's 3rd best in America. And there is Jordan Love, 6'4", 225-pound sophomore. Incredible efficiency last week, Bruce, in the game against BYU. Only 18 completions, but 4 for touchdowns.
And I'm just really impressed. The last 3 weeks, 0 interceptions, and that's the big stat to me. He's making good decisions with the football. He's being accurate, and he's taking that step as a leader. And that's what offense coordinator David Yost and head coach Matt Wells want to see him continue to do, is take the reins of this football team. He's not a big rah-rah leader, right, but he leads by example.
And he's been really solid thus far this year. He's starting to get recognition around the country and certainly within the conference. He's the reigning Mountain West Offensive Player of the Week, and he takes off. Makes a guy miss in the hole, and Jordan Love will slide down at the UNLV 42-yard line.
And we know Armani Rogers in this game, but Love starts out with his legs and a little zone read, a power right up the middle. Jordan Love keeps the football, a big crease. Good job by the offensive line.
Big play to the outside, Darwin Thompson. 18 yards on the play for Thompson.
And these are the decisions Love's making. A little screen pass. You see the offensive line get out in front of that throw. Good decision, good throw and catch.
And this offense, boy, it is like track and field down there. They get on the ball so quickly.
Well, in the tempo, that's the tempo that they continue to use, and that puts the defense on their heels.
Coach Wells was telling us these days Jordan Love runs practice. I mean, he's like a coach out there. And here, on time, it's Jalen Green, the graduate transfer from USC.
Yeah, that's what Yost was saying. He just sits back and he lets the young man run the show.
And the carry is Darwin Thompson, who gets to the 12-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. Can't take your eyes away from the screen with these guys working. And it's Thompson, and you will be able to slow him up or mark him down at the 7-yard line.
Well, it really is a beautiful opening drive. Some screen passes, using Jordan Love to open the game with a quarterback run. And as a quarterback, sometimes you want to get hit early so you feel part of this football game.
Right back to the ground, and well defended by UNLV. They were to get up there on the ball really quickly. Alex Perry, number 4, in on the stop, along with Bryce Jackson.
Alex Perry doing a good job getting off the receiver and shooting in to make the tackle. And anytime you have a cornerback willing to stick his head in there and make tackles on the running back is huge for your defense.
3rd and 7 at the 12. Love to throw, gets hit on the throw, and the throw was there, but the catch not made. Jericho Flowers in coverage on Jalen Green. And so we're going to get to see one of the best field goal kickers in America.
Just a little bit high right there. Jalen Green through his fingertips. Would have been a very good catch if he pulled it in. Now they have to settle for 3.
27-yard attempt for Dominique Eberle, who on the season is a perfect 9 for 9. Kick is on the way, and he misses his first kick of the year.
Wow. This guy's a stud, too.
Well, so for your UNLV boy, that's a great stop there. I mean, you were reeling. They were just moving it down, and you end up getting the stop, no points. So we'll now get our first look at the UNLV offense, led by sophomore quarterback Max Gillum.
That is huge, and for Utah State, anytime you get in the red zone, not only do you have to put points on the board getting a touchdown, but when you have to settle for 3 points against a UNLV team that you're mismatched coming in this football game, you have to take advantage of that. So like you said, Ari, it's a huge confidence builder as UNLV's offense takes the field.
Gillum runs the option, decides to keep it himself. Good decision as Gillum picks up 7 yards on first down. He's from Thousand Oaks, California, 6'3", 195 pounds.
Yeah, Gillum, this is a really good choice. Sometimes you pitch it too soon on a read option. He's reading, and he keeps it. Good job, because if he pitched it there, he would have lost a bunch of yards. Good job right there, and he cuts it into 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3, get it out in the flat, pick up the first down and more. Real nice job there by Gillum to get the ball out.
Good catch by Darren Woods. A little quick bubble pass. And UNLV's offense doing a good job mixing it up. Like Utah State did, getting a QB run involved early. And we're not used to that. We know Armani Rogers is out, but Gillum doing a good job. First play reading the read option, and then a quick little bubble pass for a good gain, first down.
They get it to the outside. Guess who? Lexington Thomas. Gage Ferguson forces him out of bounds after a gain of 14, and surprisingly, good start here for UNLV coming off that bad loss against New Mexico.
And left guard Caldwell doing a good job pulling, and that's what this guy Thomas brings. He's spectacular in the running game, and just like that, if you don't wrap up and tackle, this guy can get to the end zone real quick.
Again, it's the option. And this time a real nice tackle. Shaq Bond comes up from his safety position to bring him down.
Good job by Shaq Bond wrapping him up, because you can't let Lexington Thomas continue to break tackles as you see here. Good job. Even if you got to hold on to his ankle, just find a way to bring him down. Gillum once again running that option. Good defensive play.
Two-back set, 2nd and 11. Gillum the throw, and it's well behind his intended target. Techman the intended target.
Gillum trying to throw double slants right there. Just missed his receiver behind. As quarterbacks are, you have to have a short-term memory. You're going to miss throws throughout a game, especially Gillum. He hasn't played much this year. You're going to see some of that. Now, the coaches want to see, though, is how you respond. And that's more important than the mistakes you make.
It's getting loud here at Maverick Stadium. The give is to Thomas, and really no place to go. Gets stopped at the 39-yard line.
And sometimes in a third and very long situation, you hand it off to your good running back, hoping he could get you into field goal range. And right there, Utah State's defense, especially that defensive line, man, they've been playing well. Lexington Thomas getting the handoff, nowhere to run. That defensive line just filling the gaps. They're doing a good job.
Hayes Hicken on to punt, averaging 46 yards a punt. Jordan Nathan waits at his own 8-yard line. Good high punt. Nathan's going to let it bounce, and it's going to stay in play.
Wow.
To perfection, Hayes Hicken.
What a beautiful punt.
38 yards, no return, and it really pins the Aggies deep in their own territory.
Talk about accuracy. Not even a quarterback accuracy, punting. Watch how this ball hits. It bounces straight up in the air, right on the 1 yard line. That is awesome for UNLV to push Utah State back.
It's like a perfect sandwich right there. Let's check in with Danny.
First of all, I just wanted to remind all of our viewers to get involved in the conversation. Make sure you're commenting to us and make sure you're posting pictures to Instagram. Show me where you're watching this game from. Just make sure you use that hashtag UNLV versus USU. Now, guys, it's an amazing atmosphere down here. It is loud. This is definitely a home field advantage. And you guys have been talking about Utah State's offense. I want to talk a little bit more. The team as a whole has 20 starters coming back this year, which is third most in the nation. 9 of them offensively, including quarterback Jordan Love, who you guys have been talking about a lot. We talked about at the top of the broadcast how he made his first start against UNLV last season, and he's really just stepped on the gas from there. In that first game that he played against them, he earned the Mountain West Conference Player of the Week, Offensive Player of the Week for that performance in that game, and he really just has not let up. This season, he's completed 66% of his passes for over 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns. Utah State's offense is lighting up the board. They've got 5 games of over 30 points, which is the school record, but forget 30 points. Their last 4 games, they've scored over 40 points a game. That's unbelievable, and you guys have been talking about how quickly they do that. They do it so fast. 9 touchdown drives in less than a minute. Unbelievable. And they really spread the ball around. 5 different Aggies have had at least 11 catches. Their offensive line does a great job blocking. 5.4 yards per carry they're averaging. They've only given up 6 sacks. Just a tremendous offense here for Utah State. A lot to be excited about in this one.
And Bruce, you look at this Utah State offense, the thing I love that Jordan Love has been able to do, and she mentioned it, they have so many playmakers. He does a nice job of getting everybody a few touches and really makes sure that you're defending the entire field.
Yeah, he distributes the ball because he has so many players. Look, he's a Cali boy, Ari, and you look here. Look at the poise he kind of has in the scoring drives this season. Week 1 at Michigan State, 22 seconds of play, and as you go through, look at Air Force, 12.8 seconds of play. This offense moves fast.
Gerald Bright, the ball carrier, and he gets to the 4-yard line.
Ari, he's a California guy like you. Maybe that's why he's so smooth and you're so smooth. Must be a Cali thing.
Well, better weather here than in California today. It's raining back home and a beautiful day here in Logan.
Oh, it's awesome.
Highs in the low 60s.
The mountains behind.
Yeah, pretty spectacular.
Tried getting the wife to come with me.
There you go.
It's so beautiful out here. But the 3 little ones at home, they tie you down.
2nd and 7, and Jordan Love, it almost looks like a broken play there. He gets taken down.
Well, it looked like that zone read. You know, Love's trying to make a decision. Does he hand it? Does he keep it? And sometimes if you hesitate as a quarterback, you have to just be decisive. When in doubt, just hand it off to your running back.
Gabe McCoy there, one of the captain's 25s, fired up. This defense, we're already seeing a far superior effort than we saw in their game last week against New Mexico.
Absolutely. I talked to Tony Sanchez before the game, and he was fired up, man. And he understands his back's against the wall. You don't have your starting quarterback, but that's why they play these games on Saturdays.
Love throwing from his own end zone, and it's incomplete. There was some contact on the slot receiver there, Tarver, but UNLV comes up with back-to-back stops as it was Alex Perry in coverage for the Rebels.
Well, and that's a tough job for Alex Perry, guarding Tarver, who's 6'3", 215. But Perry was all over him. Maybe a little contact, but the refs did a good job. A no call. Let these boys play a little bit.
Taylor Heinz to punt. Makai Stevenson waiting at midfield. Right now, UNLV winning the field position battle. Real nice high punt. And Stevenson had to get out of the way, and it takes an Aggie bounce, but still it'll be good field position for UNLV following the 58-yard punt. And let's go down to the field to Danny.
First of all, I want to check in with some of our Instagram photos. This was just posted by SL Thick. Dreams do come true for this little Aggie fan. Look how cute she is. I love that, getting to experience the field with the cheerleaders. Make sure that you guys continue to post photos using that hashtag UNLV versus USU, just like they did, and you'll be able to show up right here on our broadcast. Now, senior defensive lineman Amir Aziz grew up in Las Vegas. He went to Durango High School, but the high school wasn't just where he got his education. Sometimes it's where he slept. Durango was homeless at just 15 years old. He laughs now, saying that he was legitimately a bum back then, having just his pillow and his blanket. He also had a goal of walking on and being a rebel for UNLV. He worked night security at the MGM on the Las Vegas Strip and always went to practice. I'm telling you guys, even after an overnight shift that lasted until 6 a.m., he still made it to practice. Earlier this year, after spring practice, an illusionist came and used Aziz as a volunteer. An envelope was taped to his chest, and when Aziz opened it, he read that he was being granted a full scholarship for the 2018 season. Unbelievable. This is what college football, college athletics is all about. Those types of stories are my favorite types of stories, and I hope they're yours as well. We're going to show more on that at halftime, but he did say that when that happened, he felt like 100 pounds was just lifted off his body. Everything changed for him. His next goal is to get a degree in sociology. You know what, guys? The kid does not know how to give up. Impressive.
Very impressive, and just what a wonderful story. And seeing that joy with him and his teammates, and that they kind of just, it makes you realize how important all this is to these young men.
I mean, it's just, these guys put in so much hard work, you know, and it's not even during the season. It's the off season. It's before you ever get to college. And to see opportunities like that and him taking advantage of it, getting a full ride. And I love those stories. When they show them around the country and guys getting full rides, I mean, it's pretty special.
It's really cool. And congratulations to him. Well deserving. All right, here we go. UNLV with the football from their own 43-yard line. Gillum's got Evan Owens to his right. It's Campbell, the ball carrier there, and he is a hoss. Xavier Campbell, 225 pounds.
Look at the blocking right here by that offensive line, springing Campbell forward for a good gain. And that's where it starts, up front. They need to win the up front battle, the line of scrimmage. Offensive line, can you get the push for these running backs to get them some holes to run through?
Lexington Thomas in the I formation. We've got movement from UNLV on the left side of the line.
False start.
False start. Offense, number 88. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Cody Scherf, guilty party, senior from a little town in Minnesota.
Well, now, defensive coordinator Keith Patterson, he's a smart dude. He shifts the defensive line, and sometimes when they make those move calls, it makes the offensive line flinch like the quarterback's calling the cadence.
UNLV making their first trip to Logan since 2014, and it's the first trip for Coach Sanchez and his staff. As that pass, a little bit too out in front of Brandon Presley, and I think he felt the defense coming. Said no thank you on that one.
Yeah, that's what you call alligator arms right there. You're running a slant into the mouth, to the teeth of this Utah State defense. Ari, I don't think I'd reach my hands out there either.
I can promise you I would not. I'd be ducking. Third down for the Rebels. 0 for 1 so far. Set up the wide receiver screen. Makes a man miss. Picks up the first down and more. Tyleek Collins, the true freshman from Savannah, Georgia, makes the play. And Shaq Bond makes the tackle for the Aggies. 17 yards on the play.
Awesome play call right there. You catch Utah State in a little blitz and you flick out a screen to the right side. And Collins does the rest. Good job by the offensive line and receivers getting out front, getting some blocks. Huge conversion on a third down.
Set up the screen. It's Evan Owens, and Owens inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Another tackle for Shaq Bond.
It's the tempo here. You know, they're bringing motion behind Gillum. trying to catch Utah State defense. You know, it's almost like long handoffs. Instead of just handing it off,
right,
they're throwing these passes that you're hoping to gain 4 or 5 yards to put you in a better situation on second down.
Gillum in some trouble, avoids one tackler, and Gillum's going to take off and run and do the prudent thing, get out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Ferguson forced him out of bounds, but showed a little bit of athleticism there we haven't seen on film from him yet.
Yeah, really good job just getting out of harm's way. Sometimes here you do not want to take a sack, so he made something out of nothing, thought he was going to throw the ball away, but he gained a few yards.
I mean, he's a big-time talent. He originally signed at Cal, then left there with the junior college route, saddleback, and now here with UNLV.
See, I wouldn't be surprised right here you get this matchup, throw a fade. They had the look they wanted to.
Donovan Outlaw, sophomore, left tackle, won the job in fall camp. Been a real pleasant surprise for them up front, and Tony Sanchez is pleading his case.
Well, offensive linemen, you don't call their names much, and when they hear it over those loudspeakers, they do not like it. Look, Gillum switching plays, audible at the line of scrimmage, and he just flinches just enough, and I think he was trying to get to that one-on-one mismatch.
Gillum, good pocket. He's going to step up and throw. Caught. Out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Brandon Presley with the catch, and I love the throw there, Bruce.
Beautiful throw, man-to-man. Really good pocket by the offensive line, and Gillum doing a good job delivering a good, accurate football in a man-to-man matchup. Look at the accuracy right to the sideline where only his receiver can catch it.
Gain of 19 on the play. 1st and 10 at the 14. Owens and Campbell in the backfield. Gillum to throw, and Presley drops it. Throw is on target.
You know, so far in this early game, we've had some penalties from UNLV, drop passes, some alligator arms. Oh, Gillum takes a shot, but delivers an accurate football. They have to make those plays, especially against a good football team. You're in the tight red zone here. You'd rather get a touchdown because any chance you get, look, they're playing the field position battle. Right now they're winning it. You have to take advantage. Try to get into the end zone because if you settle for 3, that's not a lot of points against this high-powered Utah State offense.
I could not agree more with you, Bruce. They need touchdowns in the red zone. The fly sweep. Blockers in front. And a great tackle stops the touchdown, or Tylee Collins would have been in the end zone. Jamarcus Ingram, the corner, able to bring him down after a gain of 12, and it's 1st and goal.
Good design right there. They shifted both tight ends to the other side. Then they bring Tylee Collins in motion, and Gillum just hands it off, that jet sweep that a lot of teams love in college.
In the I formation, it's Lexington Thomas, the tailback. He's got 5 rushing touchdowns on the season. Make it 6. Rebels lead 6-0.
Beautiful, methodical drive right there by UNLV. Converting on big 3rd downs to keep the drive alive and capitalizing with a touchdown. Look at the blocking up front. And all he needs, Lexington Thomas, just give him a little crease and he'll slide his way right into the end zone.
What a difference from a week ago. They seem like they've emotionally rebounded from the loss of their quarterback, Armani Rogers, and the Rebels have come to play today. Terrific scoring drive. Pantel's, the extra point is good. 7-0 Rebels. Great start on the road for Tony Sanchez's UNLV squad. As Lexington Thomas getting some love from his teammates. Senior captain, and we'll go downstairs to Danny.
Just checking in with our Instagram followers. This Ficklin family knows how this works. Quentin Ficklin's a senior offensive lineman, and here's a photo with him and his niece and nephew prior to the game. Thanks, guys, for sending that in. Also, Mama Hales says that there's a regional campus watch party for this game. That's cool. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it. You know, altitude is always a concern when playing at a high elevation school like Utah State. It doesn't seem to be bothering UNLV right now, but you know, there's 9 Division I schools that have an elevation above 4,000 feet above sea level. Utah State ranks 6th on that list, but they're the 5th highest altitude in the Mountain West Conference. You know, Coach Sanchez says that he wasn't so concerned about that coming into the game because there's really nothing you can do about it. It takes actually players a week to get used to something like that, and it takes a week for your body to adapt to lower oxygen. So they're really concerned about dehydration. They're really just going to keep an eye on it. That's really all they can do. You know, student athlete safety has become a really hot topic recently within the NCAA. Since 2000, 30 players have died because of college football workouts, and the cause of that is heat stroke. And UNLV, you know, is in the desert. It's hot there. So when asked about this and how they take care of their players, they said, you know, well, first of all, when training camp opened on August 3rd, 3 players within the first 2 days had to be removed because of heat exhaustion. So they tend to have their practices earlier in the day, you know, really focused on making sure that they take care of them. There's water stations. It's really something that they're focused on to make sure that these things do not happen, and they do a tremendous job there at UNLV. Now, obviously it's not hot here. Right now we're talking about altitude, and just me walking up and down these stairs, I think I'm in pretty good shape. I was absolutely winded. So I gotta ask you guys, are there times when altitude has completely affected you? Let me know in the comments, and actually up in the booth, got any stories about altitude affecting you guys? I was definitely out of breath walking up to see you guys earlier.
Well, I always have the same embarrassing story. When I was up at Laramie for the first time at 72.20, that is really high. First night we went out drinking on a Friday night. I woke up the next day out and realized that alcohol at a high elevation had a different effect on you, and boy, I was hurt.
I think anytime we went out to play the Broncos in Denver, you would feel that a little bit, warming up before games. You get a little out of breath too fast.
Well, you even told me the first time you came out here, you took a run around Salt Lake City and you could feel it.
Oh, so it was the first time in Salt Lake City back in September, and what a beautiful city.
First down.
What a beautiful city. And so I did. I took a stroll around town running. I tried to run some hills, and I was running them, and I'm telling you what, I got out of breath fast.
Yeah.
I was like,
one of the most beautiful settings in all of college football here in Logan, at Maverick Stadium. But one of big surprise so far is that the Rebels are leading 7-0, and they managed to stop the Aggies 2 times already. 3rd possession for the Aggies. Jordan Love the throw. Catch is made by Jalen Green. Looked like the hit might be a little late. Here it comes. Flag comes in late. That's the kind of penalty on the road you just cannot afford, Bruce.
No, UNLV, they can't have these type of penalties, and I don't know if the fans talked the refs into that one or not. You heard all those boos.
Yes.
There is no foul.
Miles Plummer.
It was a continuous.
Oh, now they're going to pick up the flag.
First down.
All right, let's see what we think here with a second look. Wraps him up, and he kind of falls on his own back.
Yeah, that's tough. He's just trying to finish the play. They were still in bounds, but did the whistle blow or not? I think it's a good no call.
Thompson into tailback, 2nd and 5. And the throw, and it is incomplete. We had no chance for Tarver there as the ball was thrown a little bit too much to the outside.
And they had the mismatch. They had the matchup they wanted. You know, anytime Love has that matchup with Tarver, throw the ball downfield. The only thing as a quarterback, just keep it in bounds. Let your receivers try to make a play because he's a big target. He can go up and make some tough contested catches.
Here's one of the big surprises so far, Bruce. Utah State's been great on 3rd down, 46%, but in this game so far, 0 for 2.
And these are huge situational downs. This is what keeps those chains moving. As you see Love, he switches plays up at the line of scrimmage, trying to get into the right play versus the right coverage.
Love the throw, catch is made, and it's enough for a Utah State first down.
Good contested catch by Jalen Green there.
Yeah, Jalen Green makes the catch, and he knew where he had to get to move this chain gang.
Love, good accurate football, drilled in between 2 defenders.
on the ground, and Thompson took a strange angle there. It was like he was trying to bow to the outside, and he gets tackled for a big loss. Dalton Baker.
Really good job, Dalton Baker, just being aggressive and attacking Darwin Thompson. Sometimes when you string out those stretch plays, you get a little too deep, and that's what Thompson did right there.
2nd and 17. Catch is made, and then right down, it's Taylor Compton. What a catch.
Beautiful catch. Gets a one-on-one matchup and lays out for the football. Good job securing it, not letting that ball touch the ground as he landed on his stomach.
3rd down. 3rd and long. Calling it 3rd and 12.
These are tough downs. 3rd and 12. As a defense, you can mix up coverages. As an offense, there's not a lot of plays that you could dial up to get 12 yards, so watch for some mesh routes.
Love going down the field. Good coverage is there, but the ball is caught. Jalen Green with the catch on 3rd and 12. He picks up 29 big yards for the Aggies.
Or do that, Ari. Just throw it up. Just throw it up. Try to get all you can. Beautiful job adjusting to the back shoulder pass by Love.
Love the throw, and Tarver drops it. Rare drop by Tarver. It literally hit him right in the hands.
Yeah, and even receivers, you have to have short-term memories. You drop a pass, you just have to come back. But that was a huge 3rd down conversion on 3rd down and 12. And now they're in field goal range. They have to try to convert for a touchdown.
Utah State got deep down the field into the red zone. They had to settle for a 27-yard field goal attempt from arguably the best kicker in America, Dominic Eberle, but he missed for the first time this season. He's now 9 for 10. Love looking down the middle of the field. Got his man. Touchdown, Aggies. It's Jordan Nathan. Just like that, Bruce. They're an extra point away from tying this game at 7. It seemed like everything has been going right for UNLV. Jordan Love finds Jordan Nathan, and he puts it right on him.
Well, I was just going to talk about UNLV safeties play very low. Love knows exactly what he has. Lofts a beautiful dime in the back of the end zone to Jordan Nathan. These safeties for UNLV, look at that. There's no one in the back end, so there's no help. Love understands that. He throws the ball where only his receiver can go catch it. So that's what's impressive about Love. He continues to understand where to beat defenses, and on that, he executes it perfectly.
For Nathan, he'd gotten in the end zone previously this year on a 59-yard punt return that came against Tennessee Tech. This is his first receiving touchdown of the season. And that gets the crowd all juiced up here at Maverick Stadium.
You know, and Love had 2 receivers wide open there. I thought he was going to throw the inside receiver. I almost yelled, throw the football. And then he lofts a beautiful pass behind him. That's why I don't play anymore, Ari.
You can coach him up. And Eberle able to get the touchback. There are the numbers for Jordan Love, 7 for 11, 97 yards, and the touchdown.
And that's the efficiency that offense coordinator David Yost likes. Make good decisions, put the ball where it's supposed to be, and your numbers will be good. And Love continues to progress in his young career so far here at Utah State.
See what kind of response we get from UNLV. They looked really good on their last drive, marching it down the field. Max Gillum so far 4 for 7, 53 yards. He sprinted around to 4 different guys have a catch. And Lexington Thomas has the 1 touchdown for the Rebels. Campbell and Owens start this series in the backfield. 1st and 10 from the 25. It's Owens. Owens, nice cut, picks up the 1st down. Still on his feet into Aggie territory. Great job there from Evan Owens, 24 yards on the carry.
I'm telling you what, this offensive line came to play today. They're getting downfield, they're getting to the second level and giving these running backs holes to run through. And when you do that, you get gash plays like they just had. And just like that, they're already across the 50.
It's Campbell, and Campbell is stopped just shy of the 45, maybe a gain of a half yard on the play.
And Utah State's defense right there said, you know what, you're going to stop running around us. And they did a good job making the running back string it out. As you see the leverage there, they're keeping the leverage inside. Make the running back cut in, and that's what Utah State did there. Good job by the defense.
I really expected UNLV to use almost all the play clock to just slow the game down a little bit because Utah State plays so fast. Here they're going to run the play with about 5 on the play clock. It's Presley, and he's tripped up. Gain of 2 yards to the 44. But Gillum looking far more comfortable than he did a week ago when he played in all that wind.
Yeah, and that's what a second start does. Not only another game to plan, but that much more practice. And you learn from your mistakes. Sometimes ugly games are when you can learn the most from. And he's done an excellent job progressing to this next week.
3rd and 8. Gillum gets the block. Now he's in trouble. They dump it off. Well, Olo makes the catch, but nowhere near the first down, and the Rebels will be forced to punt. But the one positive is they established field position by getting the one big play, so at least now when they punt, hopefully for their sake, they can pin them deep.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard to sprint out in a 3rd and long and try to get the first down. And right there, he has nothing downfield, so he has to check the ball down. I want to see UNLV try to throw the football downfield. They have some one-on-one matchups outside they have to take advantage of.
Hayes Hicken last time in a similar spot. They downed it at the 1. It's a shorter kick. Jordan Nathan, fair catch at, we'll call it the 8-yard line.
And that's what makes Utah State's team so good. They're very good on special teams as well. They don't even have a special teams coach.
Well, you sure don't have to with Matt Wells is fully engaged in special teams. And, you know, we see that at Air Force, too, with Troy Calhoun. And a lot of Mountain West coaches, they realize the significance of special teams. And I think their message to the team is if the head coach is involved in special teams, that tells you how important it is.
It absolutely is. I know in the NFL, there's guys that make the football team just because they're good special teams players.
You see the first 3 drives. So they may be able to move the football with the exception of when they were pinned back to their own 1-yard line. Jordan Love, they set up the screen. And it's Bright, and right at the first down marker. Dalton Baker brings him down after a gain of 12.
Good job by Love, setting up the screen, drifting back in the pocket, letting his offensive line get it started. And you heard the fans, when they see that much green grass, they know what these running backs can do.
That's incomplete.
Just a tad high. Try to shoot out a quick screen to the wide receiver.
Yeah, over to Devin Tompkins. He's a freshman. They're real excited about his big playability. And we got movement, and they don't call it. It's a free play for Jordan Love, and it's Jalen Green. And Jalen Green's just on cruise control and walk into the end zone. Touchdown Aggies. 80 yards.
Offside. Defense. Number 94. That penalty's declined. Result of the play. Touchdown.
Bruce, a veteran play here by Jordan Love, knowing it's a free play and takes a shot down the field.
Oh, that's an NFL caliber play. Why? Because you get the defense to jump off sides. You understand it's a free play. Jalen Green doing an unbelievable job being on the same page with Love, and they connect. You know, that's a free play. Even if it gets intercepted, it's a no play. So now they turn into 7 points. You know, this UNLV team, man, they have to eliminate these penalties.
27 seconds on the scoring drive. So you can add that to Danny's list we were talking about. It's now 10 scoring drives of less than a minute.
It's unbelievable how fast and the tempo of this offense. But Love, just his control of this offense and his understanding. A lot of times, look, I've seen Ben Roethlisberger do it so many times. You try to use the hard count to get the defense to jump off sides because you take advantage of that. And Love in this offense just did that.
Amazing. How about these numbers for Jalen Green? And we were still in the first quarter. 5 catches, 132 yards, and a touchdown.
Is that beautiful? That's end of game stats, and he's already got it in the first quarter.
And Jordan Love is 9 of 14 for 189 yards and 2 touchdowns.
You know, Utah State, after we saw them miss a field goal, we think they started off slow, but you can see how fast they respond. And that's why penalties are so huge, especially for a UNLV team playing on the road. You can't afford to have those type of mistakes.
Evan Owens going to let that kick go, and it'll be a touchback. It's like a fast break football is what that is. Now, that was the longest completion of the career of Jordan Love. He's just a sophomore into his 6th game, but you'll take those freebies, won't you?
And he's like the point guard. He just distributes that ball to his playmakers, and he's the mastermind behind this offense. And talking to David Yost, they continue to put more on his plate, and he has the ability to get the plays he likes.
1st and 10. Get it out to the outside. It's Presley. And a good gain on 1st down as he picks up 6 yards.
Sometimes when your offense is moving like that, you get the fans involved. Now the defense, they start pinning their ears back, and they bring that energy to the field. So watch how Utah State's defense continues to play.
See if they get another playoff before the end of the opening quarter. And they will not get it off. So 1 quarter complete in Logan, and Utah State leads UNLV 14-7. And let's go to Danny.
Well, guys, I'd like to introduce this segment. It's a new one that we've got. We've got 2 of them throughout this game. It's called Thumbs Up or Thumbs Down. So the way this happens is I'm going to give my opinion. Our guys up in the booth are going to give their opinion on this statement. And you at home also give your opinion. So here it is, guys. Okay, so UNLV running back Lexington Thomas going into this game just needed 749 yards to become UNLV's all-time leading rusher. Now, 3 of these games that he's got coming up are home games. Not sure if that matters, but my question to all of you, thumbs up or thumbs down, he will become UNLV's all-time leading rusher by the end of this season. I'm going to send it up to you. Are you first?
All right, I thought Bruce was going to take the tough. Bruce, go ahead. Go.
Oh, Bruce will go first.
You're so polite.
Yes.
I'm going thumbs down. I'm going thumbs down. You know why? Because he lost his matchmaker, Armani Rogers, and now defenses can now focus in on him. It's going to be hard for a running back continue to average more than 100 yards a game, so I'm going to have to go thumbs down.
I'm going thumbs up. Guy's a stud. They're going to rely even more heavily on him, even though defenses are going to be coming after Lexington Thomas. I think he becomes UNLV's all-time leading rusher, and he does it in their ultimate rivalry game against Nevada in the season finale.
I love it, man. I love it. We'll see.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm going positive. He's going negative.
And you know what? It's so weird because down here, if you guys know me by now, I'm typically the super positive person that loves a good storyline, like someone breaking a rushing record. However, just like Bruce said, because he did lose his star quarterback, I'm going to have to go thumbs down on this one as well. I would like to see him do it, but I'm just not sure he can.
Oh, now, hold on. Now, he's still got 25 yards already in this game.
That's
so
true.
Over 4 quarters, that's 100 yards.
There we go.
This is the first of 7 games left.
He's got to sustain it for 7 games, Ari. That's a big point of it all. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. Argue with us. That's what we like. I'm sure Ari and Bruce will read some of your comments up there as well.
Cool. Thanks, Danny.
And you know, it's nothing against Lexington, but look at Armani Rogers handling this injury as a pro. I talked to Tony Sanchez before the game. He's a very even-keeled guy, so he's able to handle this adversity very well, because that's hard. As he's felt some success, now he has to sit and watch his teammates play.
It's Campbell, and Campbell picks up a yard. It's going to bring up 3rd down. UNLV so far in the game 2 for 4 on 3rd down. They came in at just 32% on 3rd down.
And this is a manageable 3rd down. 3rd and 3. Your playbook's wide open here. Give Gillum an opportunity to make a play. These are the downs, situational downs UNLV has to convert on.
And just remember, Lexington Thomas just to the left of Gillum.
And here it comes.
And he's a real threat to catch the ball as well out of the backfield if they bring that blitz.
Here comes a blitz, and they audible out of it.
Gillum all kinds of time. And that is picked off. Rockamore makes the play. The senior captain for Texas with the pick. And the coaching staff loves this guy. They say Rockamore has arguably been their best defensive player this season.
Well, give credit to Utah State defense as a whole, because they showed 0 blitz. Everyone up in the line of scrimmage pre-snap. Gillum changed the play. Utah State changed their defense. Now all of a sudden, it confused the quarterback. Gillum makes a very bad decision, but great job by Rockmore securing that interception.
Was it a bad decision or just a bad throw?
That was a bad throw. It was pretty
I thought Presley was open. He just didn't get enough loft on him. They got a trick play here. As they bring the playmaker all the way from the other side, it's Aaron Vaughns. And Vaughns will be tackled at the 26 after a gain of 12. I wasn't sure what he was going to do when he first got that ball.
Well, this offense moves so fast that we can't even talk about that interception.
Jordan Love down the field. Caught! Touchdown Aggies! It's Scarver with the score. 26 yards. Scarver's 2nd receiving touchdown of the season. Bruce, they score points so quickly. That's another touchdown drive, this time 24 seconds.
It's unbelievable how fast this offense moves.
All right, Bruce, take us through not just the touchdown, but the previous play. Because the way they've worked this thing here, they really got the defense off balance.
It looks like Love's throwing a screen to the left, but no, his receiver was coming back towards him, and the blockers were all to the right. Good job coming back now, taking a shot downfield. Scarver was in the slot. Love, once again, recognizes the defense that he could take advantage and throw that ball downfield. Scarver in the slot right there does a good job attacking the defense, putting his feet on his toes, sticking a foot in the ground and going to catch that football. It's just very impressive how Love understands these defense, and he's distributing that ball to everyone.
They're having some fun here in Logan. And the Rebels will not try the return.
And this isn't good for UNLV either. I think a little misty rain coming down.
Yeah, little rain is coming down on the field. Look at that, Jordan Love, first 2 drives in the last 3. He's already thrown for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns.
It's unbelievable, and this team feeds off one another. You know, the offense goes down, scores quick. What's the defense do? They come back and get an interception on a huge 3rd down play, and then the offense takes the field again, and just 2 plays later, boom, back on the board, 7 more points.
keep it on the ground. It's Lexington Thomas. Stays on his feet. Like I said, he'll be the all-time leading rusher for UNLV.
Well, if they don't
7 yards there for Thomas.
If they don't shorten this score, they're going to be having to pass it a lot more.
A little extracurriculars following the play. Tipa Nalai, he is something else. He has been a menace throughout this year. He's got 4.5 sacks, along with 7 tackles for a loss. And Tipa can bring it.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 10. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And he brought it there.
He did bring it a little too much that time, the TCU transfer.
And then he had a pick 6 last week. But you like the aggressiveness. Now, I don't know. He was standing up. He gave a little shoulder nudge.
You're going to get that called every time, right? You can't stand over the running back play.
Yeah, the refs don't want this game to get out of control, out of hand. But Tipa's a very impressive looking man too. He looks the part, long and rangy. You see guys in the NFL all the time, like a Carlos Dunlap from Cincinnati Bengals. Tipa does it too, getting turnovers last week, a pick 6. So this guy's fun to watch.
Gillum all day to throw going down the field. He's got way too much on this throw. Brandon Presley, the intended target.
They're trying to take a shot downfield, throwing a big post, but sometimes it's hard versus single high safety. There's a man in the middle of the field. Gillum probably saw that. That's why he had to loft the ball too far downfield so no one could catch it.
Are you surprised how loose that long sleeve undershirt is on him? Because I would think that'd be easier for the defenders to grab it.
Yeah, as a quarterback, it's probably your preference. What are you comfortable in?
Yeah.
Because you have to worry about being able to throw the football.
Get the screen to the outside. And they get just to midfield. That's Techman making the catch. Give him 3 yards on the play.
I usually like the tight sleeves, you know.
You want to look like people want to know you went to the gym, right?
Yeah, you got to show off the guns a little bit. You know what I mean?
Campbell and Owens in the game for UNLV. They're trailing by 2 touchdowns early second quarter. So glad you're with us. Ari Wolf, Bruce Gradkowski upstairs. Danny Kleppinger down on the field. Gillum all day to throw. Now he's in trouble and he'll go down. Logan Lee gets the sack. Sophomore from Idaho.
Logan Lee doing a great job attacking the offensive tackle, staying with it, and attacking the quarterback. Wrapping him up, good form tackle. No chance for Gillum right there. Looked like pretty good protection initially, but once he scrambled out of the pocket, good job by them, sacking him.
Hayes Hicken to punt. Jordan Nathan waits at his own 20. And that's blocked. Loose ball, picked up by the Aggies and taken for 6. Touchdown Aggies. They do it on special teams again.
Special teams unit, we talk about it all the time. Matt Wells taking care of business, and they do it on all 3 facets of the ball. Offense, defense, and special teams.
Gajkowski takes it in for the touchdown. Eberle with the extra point. It was Devin Tompkins who comes in and blocks it. I mean, he was so early, he almost blew by the punter.
He basically took it like a handoff right there. He could have. Good job.
And then Gajkowski sees it, picks it up, says thank you very much. It's what they do. They find ways to beat you on special teams.
And that's just a good design block play by, I don't want to even say the special teams coach because I can't. It's the coaching staff. Whether that was head coach Matt Wells putting that in or what, but they give guys an opportunity. So what do? You line up speed in the inside to be able to get to the punter fast. And my man Gajkowski, a good Polish guy, the skis, making things happen.
Gradkowski likes Gajkowski. Well, now if you're UNLV, things have really, boy, turned on you. They led 7-0. It looked like they were slowing down the Aggies. Bam, 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 28-7.
Just like that. It's unbelievable. And, you know, UNLV has had some penalties early on that you look back, and whether it's a third down, whether it's that offsides that gave Love a free ball downfield to throw, you have to eliminate those penalties, especially on the road and playing a good football team.
Well, and talking to some of the fans, you know, whatever their expectations were coming in, because they were only preseason picked fourth within their own division in the Mountain Division, now people are talking about them going 11-1 because Boise State's not as good as they have been. They feel like they can go there and win. And anybody who comes here in the conference to play at Maverick Stadium is going to be an underdog.
Absolutely, and this is the second time I've gotten to watch Utah State in person, and I'm just impressed with everything from the coaching staff to the players to just the good overall team. They have the leadership, and look, when it comes down to being an 11-1 football team, you need to do it offensively, defensively, and special teams, and they do that. They're able to do it on all three phases of the football.
Take a look at some scores from around the conference. Army leads at San Jose State 14-3. Colorado State an early lead on New Mexico. Hawaii and BYU coming up later. Boise State at Nevada. That could be an interesting game. And Wyoming versus Fresno State.
I'm going to have to text my boy Jeff Garcia, give him a hard time. His San Jose team going down today.
Unfortunately for them, the Spartans have had a very tough go of it in 2018. Still searching for their first win.
I remember Jeff texted me probably a couple years ago when they hired the coach, and he wanted to go after the job. He's like, I can't believe they won't hire me. I'm like, well, you have no coaching experience, you know. He helped out a little.
Tell him to go get on TV for a bit, and then they'll hire him, because now guys just go straight from the booth.
You're
to
right.
Coaching.
You're right. That might be my plan eventually down the road.
You going to be a coach? Well, those guys really have to work now. It's not like sitting up here.
You're right.
Lexington Thomas, and he's gang tackled at the line of scrimmage. Ferguson, the senior captain, the first one to get to him. But you had just said, you know, if they get down, you're not going to see Thomas get a lot of carries. And I got a feeling we're only going to really see him a lot on first downs.
Yeah, and they have to. You know, we talked about it earlier of using those screen passes, quick hitches, slants, instead of the running game.
Gillum to throw, and boy, batted around and then dropped by Tyleik Collins. A flag comes in late at the 40-yard line. You can hear the fans. They don't like this call.
Yeah, I'm not sure either if that's a personal foul. I don't know if I agree. The ref's huddling up. Where are you going to dinner tonight? Where do you want to go? Yeah, I don't agree with that call, Ari. I mean, the guy's trying to come in and make a play. Nowhere did I see the helmet connect anywhere on his body.
To Vina, you can see the sideline, their reaction to it. All right, they're going to bring the play back. There's going to be no penalty. Now, I've just noticed it was raining a little bit. Some of those you can see are actually little snowflakes. Now, I did warn you that you could have all four seasons in a game here.
It's unbelievable.
We've already had fall. It's starting to feel a little more like winter.
I love it. I love it. You're not used to seeing this. You're an LA guy.
After further review, on the field is reversed. There is no targeting. It's an incomplete pass. Brings up second down.
Before you go too far with the whole California thing, I was raised in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, so I know the cold, and I've had enough of it, and I don't ever need to see it again. I'm real familiar with what it is.
Well, I like it. You're a PA guy too. I'm from Pittsburgh, and so I'm used to this. So I might have to.
This makes you feel good.
I like it. It feels like home. But I think that's a really good job, the refs getting together and making that call right.
So 3rd and 10. The Rebels 2 for 6 on 3rd down. The rush is coming, and down goes Gillum. Great edge rush, and it's Tipa again.
Probably holding there. Try to do anything.
Nobody can block this guy.
Personal foul, face mask. The offense, number 64. Penalties declined, 4th down.
Nathan Jacobson probably doing all he can to try to stop Tipa from getting to the quarterback.
Yeah, and you see the right tackle here, trying to get Tipa Nalei, and he just can't. So
he's
what he
got
tries
him by the face mask and takes him down.
What he tries to do.
And he still gets the sack.
It's unbelievable. This guy is long and rangy. He's athletic. So it's hard to just kind of not let him get to the quarterback. And you try to do everything you can. Unfortunately, right there, he grabbed his face mask.
Hicken. It's Nathan from his own 47. Man, good job in coverage by the Rebels. They bring him down at the 46-yard line. All right, let's go downstairs to Danny.
Running back Darwin Thompson was listed at NFL.com's 17th most freakish athlete in college football. And I'm going to talk more about that in just a second, because first I got to call out some Instagram photos here. Here's Glissick. They're watching the Aggies outside, outdoor watch party there. And then Meredith Ollie, USU fans in Texas. Let's see that photo. That one's coming up in just a second too. Look at them. They look awesome. Look at that little baby. Just absolutely precious. Okay, I teased it at the top of this hit, but now I want to talk about it some more. Darwin Thompson was listed as NFL.com's 17th most freakish athlete, and that was due purely to his physical ability in the weight room. This was before he even played it down at the FBS level. You know what, guys? He is 5'8", 190 pounds, but he sure stands tall in the weight room. Check out some of these videos. You gotta see this. He has a squat max of 560 pounds. He was captured on social media squatting 7 reps at 515. He's got, if he was in the 2016 NFL Combine, which is when one of these videos were posted, he would have been in the top 5 of running backs with 24 reps on his bench. He's just unbelievable in there. Not only that, he's improving on the field, and it's something that his coaching staff is super impressed with him by. He also, actually guys, I also forgot to point out this as well. He's got a vertical jump of about 40 inches. That's an elite explosive player at the NFL Combine. To put that in perspective, that's higher than Nick Chubb jumped at this Combine. And Giants first round pick, Saquon Barkley, he had 41 inches in the verticals. That's just 1 inch higher than Darwin Thompson. He really can get up there. Just an absolute freak of an athlete. Super impressive. And then as more on what his coaches have been saying about him, he's getting more yards after contact. They're very impressed with his physicality. He's really improved in that area, and someone that, you know, with him and then Bright as well, it's a good 1-2 punch here for this Utah State offense. And guys, another little update, because I am down here on the field, it is now hailing down here. I felt a couple drops coming down that were a little bit harder than rain.
All right, stay safe down there, Danny. It's looking ominous right now. Jordan Love on target. It's Tarver. And he has a Utah State first down right at the sticks at the 36-yard line.
I at first thought that was you in the weight room.
Oh, really?
Man,
you know how to make a guy feel good. I appreciate that. Yeah, look at this racing down the field. And they're ahead of their normal pace.
14 seconds. That is some good stuff by David Yost and Matt Wells.
Jordan Love, little flick down the field and good coverage on Tarver. Oh, wow. I think they should pick this one up. He wasn't catching this ball no matter what. It's good coverage. I'll let the former quarterback tell you what he thinks, but my first in live action, that's not.
No, I agree. I think both defenders were going after the football at the same time. And if you're looking back at the ball and there's some hand battling going on.
Number 4, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's Alex Perry. If we got another look, in real time, it did not look like much. But yeah, you see, look at those. That's hail. Welcome to Logan, everybody. It was bright and sunny and 65 when we got here.
It was beautiful.
It's another example of why I think it's so tough for the West Division to come and play the Mountain Division. You're playing at UNLV, and all of a sudden you come up here and you got hail in the first half.
Right, yesterday it's 78 degrees at practice. Now you're dealing with hail.
And no place to go for Darwin Thompson.
And that's sometimes the thing with explosive backs. They never know when to give up. So he's going to always try to make something happen, but unfortunately, he continues to get behind the line of scrimmage for a big loss.
Well, at least Kenneth Lim on Facebook agreed with me. It should have been a no call. Here comes Jordan Love. Got a lot of ground to cover, and he does. Picks up the first down. It'll be first and goal for the Aggies.
And everyone you talk to always says, oh, Jordan Love, he's a pocket passer. He's a pocket. Look, the guy can do it all, and you have to be athletic enough, and Jordan Love is. He understands everyone's covered
Darwin
down.
Thompson, touchdown, Aggies. Bruce, these guys don't give you a second to get your comment in. You got to go quick.
They move fast.
Yes, they do.
I thought Toledo's offense moved fast. These guys are impressive, and very impressive by the offensive line, getting that hole open. I think you might have been able to score there, Ari.
I appreciate that. I felt like that was my play right there. Everly, extra point. It's 35-7, 35 unanswered points from the Aggies. He did get touched, not much though. He should be all right. Not too much contact, and what an explosive offense.
Just a really good job by the offensive line, and Gerald Bright even coming down.
All right, let's go to Danny.
Thanks, guys. Just want to check in again with some of our viewers. Here's Trevor Brimley. Go Utah State Aggies all the way. This family doesn't mess around when it's game day. We always gear up. Look at that. So cute. Look at that baby. Looks so happy. Griffin is watching on Facebook. He's watching his big brother, number 76 from there. Look at him. He looks great. Thanks, guys, for sending that in. Continue to send in those photos. Make sure you comment on Facebook and also send in photos on Instagram using that hashtag UNLV versus USU. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Darren Palmer from UNLV because he is an Air Force veteran. We're going to show more on him at halftime, but first, I just want to talk about the guy because he's older. You know, he didn't come to UNLV to play until he was 26 years old. He served in the Air Force because his parents couldn't afford college for him, so he decided to do that. His sister was in the Marines, which is what sparked the idea to be able to go do the Air Force. He had a 6-month deployment in Jordan. He did food operations there, and when foreign military came in, he made sure that they were fed. He would also be in the gym, making sure everybody was ready physically. He was in charge of quality of life and support for the base. He didn't have to see any combat, thank goodness, which he says was definitely lucky, but there was a lot going on that he still can't discuss because it is classified information. He met a friend there from Las Vegas who told him about the UNLV football program, and when they were holding tryouts, he decided to go. And coach saw him, saw his athleticism, saw something in him, and gave the 26-year-old a chance to play. He said that he doesn't want to go back. He doesn't think he'll do it again. He enjoys being a civilian. He's got some facial hair, which of course they're not allowed to have, and so he's enjoying that as well. But he did say football does have some sort of similarities to the military because they are always yelling at you. So that was pretty interesting as well. And guys, now it's time for you to get involved. Ask the announcers. If you have a question for Bruce or Ari up in the booth, make sure you put them out there right here and right now.
Great stuff, Danny. I like how Eric Walker on Facebook said it'll be sunny again at the end of the game. I hope he's right. So I don't want to drive through the mountains back down to Salt Lake City in this kind of weather.
You're right about that.
Yeah, I think it doesn't appear the hail is coming anymore. There's just a few little drops of rain right now. Definitely better than it was about 15 minutes ago. But if you look over the mountains, you can see it's pretty dark.
It's a beautiful day for football. This is football weather right here, especially for Utah State, the way they're playing.
The reverse. It's Collins, and Collins is tackled at the 31-yard line. They try to get this true freshman touches whenever they can. Tyleek Collins.
So far, he's made some good plays this game, and Gillum even getting himself a block. But UNLV's trying to switch it up on offense. They have to pull everything out right now to try to get back in this football game. A little confusion as they all try to get lined up.
It's Thomas. And Thomas is brought down to yard shy of the end zone. Bruce, one of the things I thought was interesting in our conversation with Matt Wells, he said, look, it is a big deal for them to beat BYU. First time they've beaten them back-to-back years in 44 years. But he said, after Sunday night, we put that thing to bed. It's over with. And then they've moved on. There has not been an emotional letdown today.
And I think that's what's impressive about head coach Matt Wells, coming off a bye week and really giving it to BYU like they did.
It's Thomas, and he pushes the pile, and it's enough for a UNLV first down. And if nothing else, give their defense a chance to catch their breath.
Yeah, and you look at, like you just talked about, it's coming off bye weeks. You know, UNLV had a letdown last week coming off a bye. Utah State exploded off the bye week. And then it's also coming off of big wins like Utah State had last weekend. So I think that's a lot to do with coaching, and it's impressive how Utah State's playing today.
It's Campbell, and Campbell breaks a tackle, and he stumbles forward and almost gets to the 41.
UNLV's offense.
Sorry about that, Bruce. Tamavina with the tackle there, 42.
Yeah, no, I was just saying UNLV's offense, they want to stay ahead of the chains. You know, second down and medium, these are good down and distances. Try to get 4 or 5 yards on first down, so now you're not behind the chains.
Blitz is coming. They pick it up. Gillum's got all day to run on this side. Going to take off, and then he's going to go down at the 35. Great decision there from Gillum.
And what's happening is Gillum is getting confused because Utah State's moving at the snap. So all of a sudden, he's double clutching in the pocket because they're giving him a different coverage after the snap. But he does a good job of escaping and making a huge gain out of nothing.
.25 yards on the carry. It's going to be a loss of a yard on the play. Adeoye able to make the play. There he is, big old 55, 6'3", 275 pounds.
These guys up front are impressive. Look at that. They're not letting the offensive lineman get up to the second level because the offensive line's not even able to handle them up front. Very good play by him. Now second down and long.
It's Thomas. Gets a block. And unfortunate to get close to the line of scrimmage. Well defended by Utah State. Shaq Bond, another tackle. He's been very good in this first half.
And that's what you have to do with Lexington Thomas. Sometimes it's not just handing the guy off the ball from the shotgun. It's spreading the ball out, putting him in motion, getting him some screen passes. Any way you could get Lexington Thomas the ball is going to be an advantage for you as a UNLV offense.
Hold on. Timeout called by UNLV.
First of the half.
Getting
30
close to
seconds
zero.
in length.
And what I've seen so far, Ari, we talked to Tony Sanchez a few days ago, and they wanted to try to confuse Jordan Love. And today it actually looks like Keith Patterson and the Utah State defense are doing a really good job confusing Gillum. They're switching coverages up after the snap, and that's making it tough for Gillum to make decisive decisions downfield with the football.
So on that last play, we saw Gillum's ability to get out of the pocket and create plays, but one thing that this team is really lacking is the dual threat capability of Armani Rogers, who went down a couple games ago. I mean, whether it was against USC, a couple of the early, I saw him against UTEP. I mean, the guy's getting better in the passing game, but where he really can get you is in the running game.
And as a defense, you have to really put in a game plan surrounding stopping the quarterback when Armani Rogers is on the football field. This guy's elusive, he makes plays, so you have to protect the whole field, not just half the field.
And Gillum into big trouble, and he gets sacked. David Woodward, inside linebacker. He's an outstanding player, leads the team in tackles. 10th in America, coming in with 46 tackles. Give him his second sack of the season. And Armani Rogers, all he can do is try to be emotional support.
Yeah, and that's what Tony Sanchez said. He's just a really even-keeled guy, and it's tough going through injuries and have to sit back and watch your team play when you feel helpless.
Makes the first guy miss, and then a late flag comes in, which is going to improve field position.
And that's a good call, and those are the things UNLV cannot do, and they've done it a few times today.
After the play, late hit, number 40 of the kicking team, hit out of bounds. 15-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
All right, so timeout on the field. Let's take one more look at the late hit. They could have gotten a couple guys for a late hit. He was clearly out of bounds at that point.
Jordan Nathan does such a good job tight-roping the sideline, making a guy miss in really tight quarters. But you just can't have that as UNLV defense. And so far this game, they were up 7-0. But a lot of times, there's a lot of penalties that they have to eliminate.
Yeah. Penalties have been a problem. All right, so this is the segment where it's Ask the Announcers, Bruce. So the first question I got for you that we got from out the world of Facebook, how many points does Utah State score in this game?
60.
Only 60.
64.
All right, we're going with 64. I'm going to say, just going to one-up you. I'll go 65 so I can one-up you. But, I mean, this is a team. I predicted the final score 53-17, and I think that they're going to get well past 53 points. I mean, this offense has looked really explosive in the first half.
I think so, too. I mean, we're in for a long football game just because of how quick Utah State's offense can score and how many weapons they have. Jordan Love does a great job distributing the football throughout his offense to all the different weapons. They're fun to watch, but also their defense. Their defense also puts points on the board.
Yep, 3 defensive touchdowns on the season. Next question for you, is Darwin Thompson an NFL talent?
I think he has the ability, and he'll get an opportunity. And that's all you ask for as a college athlete coming out for the NFL draft. You saw his strength, his vertical jump. He has the explosiveness that's going to really wow scouts, general managers, coaches. So they're definitely going to give the young man a chance. Now, when you talk about getting drafted, being 5'8", I'm not sure where that aligns.
Right.
But he's going to get a chance because his production on the field is very impressive, as well as his 40-inch jump, which is maybe like
like mine's about 3. All right. Next question out there, and I like this one. What is your favorite memory from your career in the NFL?
My favorite memory was in 2009. I was starring for the Oakland Raiders, and we went back to Pittsburgh and played the Steelers, my hometown team where I grew up. I threw for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and game-winning touchdown pass with 15 seconds remaining. So that was really special. Just to be around my family and do it then was really cool.
All right, that's your Ask the Announcers segment. Nice job by Bruce. Utah State with the football, leading 35-7. Gain of 5 there on first down.
They came with some good questions. I like that.
Hey, man, these people know, they know what they want out there.
Keep them coming.
Jordan Love down the field, got a wide open Aaron Bonds. How does he make this catch, Bruce? What a catch.
This was just an acrobatic catch. But look at Love. Look at his eyes looking outside. Then he comes back to the middle of the field. And look at Bonds. twisting his body around and making a terrific two-handed catch to secure the football as he was getting tackled.
Bryce Jackson is the injured Rebel. He was in coverage there. It was 32 yards on the play for Vaughns.
Look at Vaughns here. He tracks the football, goes up, look, catches it with his fingertips, but also controls it through the ground. It's very impressive. We talk about Jordan Love and his stats and what he's doing, but there's plays like that that's helping Jordan Love move this football down the field, and I think he realizes that. The coaches do. There's a lot of weapons on this offense.
That's one of the great understatements ever. 8 guys already have a catch so far. So Jordan Love is spreading it around.
You know, talk about NFL talent. Jordan Love's only a sophomore. He has 2 more years to continue to grow and develop even after this year. So you talk about the size, strength, the arm strength, the ability, the arm talent. He has it.
Gerald Bright, the ball carrier. He gets it to the 35-yard line.
You know what's pretty cool is how Gerald Bright came into Utah State and was a wide receiver initially. It just shows you how the coaches place these guys in the right positions to get the most out of their talents. Love just really controlling this game, switching the calls up at the line of scrimmage, just like David Yost has talked to us about.
And they set up the middle screen, and they get it to the fullback. Check that, it's the tight end, Carson Terrell. And Terrell gets it to the 23-yard line, 12 yards on the play.
And when you have so many weapons, you use them as distractions, and you dump a little screen in the middle of the field. After you send off Gerald Bright in motion, you fake the screen to him, and you bring it back inside for that little tight end middle screen that we used to love to run.
Jordan Love and does the smart thing. He says, you know what, let's live to fight another down.
Absolutely, and a lot of times, Ari, you don't see quarterbacks doing that. And Jordan Love is more important to this football team staying healthy.
Absolutely.
That's a business decision right there, huh, Ari?
Yeah.
I don't think I would have done that. That's probably why my shoulder, I have a 3rd-degree AC joint separation. The bones popped up, tore my left pec, both MCLs. I wish I knew how to slide.
It's Bright. And he's going to get almost to the original line of scrimmage. He's going to bring up 3rd and long. It's actually kind of nice for us that Utah State for once on a drive isn't going at track and field speed. So we can actually talk a little bit between plays. But, you know, with less than 2.5 to go in the opening half, they're trying to take some time off the clock.
3rd and 11 here. I want to be surprised if it's a little draw or even a screen.
And the wind is going the direction of the Aggies, and they have a great field goal kicker. So they're well within field goal range if they don't pick it up here. And it is Bright. And Bright is going to get very close. I think he has the first down at the 13-yard line.
And a draw just like that, a 3rd down and long. You want to keep the clock running. You know you're in field goal range. And sometimes those draws open up beautifully like that, especially the way this offensive line is playing.
Taking time off the clock here. It's Bright, and Bright will be tackled just inside the 10-yard line. And if Utah State, they would love to use all the clock here. UNLV will get the football at the start of the 3rd quarter.
It's just impressive watching this offense because they really can do it all. Quick tempo, take your time. Waste some time off the clock as they're going to probably punch it in right here before the end of the half. And like you stated, UNLV will get the ball at the 2nd half to start.
It's Bright, and he's going to be pushed back at the 8-yard line. No real reason to use the timeout yet if you're Utah State. You got all the time in the world. You still got your timeouts, all 3. You can let this clock continue to tick.
Yeah, you're right. They still can get a first down without getting a touchdown, and that's why, too, maybe you do use the timeout.
Well, they've got it down to 24 seconds, so they use the first of their 3 timeouts here. I want to remind everyone we've got great stuff coming up at the half, including we're going to go more in-depth on a story that Danny touched on. We showed you some video when Amir Aziz got his scholarship. This is a guy who was homeless and now a full scholarship player for the Rebels. And we're going to have more on that story at the half and a lot of other good stuff from Danny. You and I know, we're going to try to get warm maybe. I'm hoping that maybe we can find a little hot chocolate around here.
Excuse me. That sounds good to me, too. You know, this wind's blowing in this booth a little bit, but it does feel like football weather.
You can catch our next Mountain West game on Facebook October 27th at 4 p.m. These Aggies host New Mexico. Only on Facebook. Stadium. Welcome to the game.
They have their matchup up top to Tarver if they want to just loft him a fade.
Did he hold on? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Aggies. It's Tarver with the score.
Beautiful job. I love getting the ball in the shotgun, catching it and lofting it, back shoulder fade, putting some air on it and let Tarver adjust. And he does a great job adjusting to the football. He did it last week. He does it again, getting 2 hands on the football, getting his foot down in bounds. Beautiful execution on that drive right before half, utilizing the clock as well.
Second longest touchdown drive of the season for the Aggies. They're looking to tack on the extra point here. How about these numbers for Jordan Love? 15 for 20, 287 yards, 4 touchdowns, no turnovers.
Man, that's beautiful. It's beautiful stuff. And the main point you made there is 0 turnovers.
Yep. 4 different receivers have caught touchdowns, and it's a new career high for Jordan Love in a half to throw 4 touchdowns, and that's an outstanding grab there by Tarver.
Look at that. He basically caught that with his right hand. A little back shoulder fade. Look at him. He knows. A little swag to him, huh?
When you're up 42-7, you can probably do almost anything. Your coach is okay with it.
You know what? Matt Wells, though, he seems pretty serious. Like, I don't know if he'll ever really relax during this football game.
Oh, probably not.
And that's what's cool to see. You know, he expects his guys to play a full 4-quarter football game and not lay down. So I wonder what his halftime talk is going to be, being up 42-7.
Pressure coming. It's Collins with the catch. And a much-needed first down for the Rebels.
That's a good job by Gillum pre-snap. He's recognizing coverage. He's looking at his receiver. He's giving a little hand signal. Looked like he hand signaled him a slant. Felt the pressure coming, so you want to get the ball out of your hands quick. Good conversion on 3rd down.
Camlin Owens in at running back. Play action. Gillum has a guy out in the flat, and the catch is made by Darren Woods. Gain of 7. Shaq Bond with the tackle.
Gillum once again rolling outside the pocket, looking downfield for his reads. Then he comes down to his lower receiver, gets a good completion. They want to continue to try to stay ahead of the chains. Like I talked about before, just can control what you can control and put a good drive together.
They fake the reverse this time to Collins, keep it on the ground, and Williams gets close to a first down.
It was a good thing they faked it there, because I don't think the reverse would have worked, and that turned into a positive play.
Rockamore there to make the play. He's just so steady. Rockamore, one of the captains for the Aggies.
That's why you look around the Utah State defense, a lot of good defenders. I mean, there's not just one guy that you're saying this is the reason this defense goes.
And they've got him at all three levels. Gillum's got a man wide open. Can he get it to him? No, too much on the throw, as he had Brandon Presley open.
And those are the opportunities you have to capitalize on.
Here's one thing that is a small thing that a lot of quarterbacks, I don't know if they take into consideration. At this elevation, that ball will go on you. You do have to make a small adjustment.
Yeah, plenty of protection. He had the pump that he wanted. They tried to get him on a slant and go, and the ball just sailed on him just out of bounds, and you have to capitalize.
I feel like at a lot of high elevations, you'll see quarterbacks make an adjustment in game and realize they just have to take a little. They don't have. They're especially at the beginning game. I think you're already amped up. You can attest to that.
Right.
And then you realize, hold on, man, that ball's going a little further than it does at home.
Well, why do you think Peyton Manning signed with the Broncos?
Right?
To end his
like,
career.
My arm strength's not what it was. Let me go play at a place that ball is going to go for me.
Hey, I need every advantage I could get. You know, he's a smart guy.
He is.
But you're right. That does play a part in throwing the football downfield.
Keep it on the ground and no place to go. Leilua, defensive end, 44, along with Woodward. Williams trying to find a seam somewhere to go and just no place to go.
And that's a good job by Tipa Nalei to cut off the edge. You know, this defense is staying in their gap, so he makes the running back cut back in to the teeth of this defense.
Hayes Hicken on to punt. Jordan Nathan waits at his 15. He's got it. Trying to get to the outside, and that's nicely defended by UNLV. There is a flag, however, 2 flags back at the line of scrimmage.
During the kick, holding, number 22 of the ticking team. 10-yard penalty be added to the end of the kick. First down.
Jordan in the first half, I mean, it's like he's playing PlayStation out there. 15 for 20, 287 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 turnovers. What kind of offensive tempo do you expect with them leading 42-7?
I think to start off this second half, you have to come back out hot. You keep the foot on the gas pedal. And look at Jalen Green, 6 targets, 5 receptions for 132 yards and a touchdown. These guys have been on track. They've been connecting. This offense has been smooth. I think this first drive, you got to keep the foot on the gas and do what you did the first half.
And keep in mind that 80 yards of that Green's total came on an offsides play where it was a free play, and they took advantage of it as Darwin Thompson drags the tackler with him, and he gets close to a first down. I think he may have got it at the 42.
And sometimes in games like this, you come out at half and you want to establish the run.
Well, they mark him a little bit short, and they are going quick. And this time he does get the first down.
As you see, their tempo is just where it was in the first half.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
And what's tough, sometimes Jordan Love's looking to the sidelines to get the play. He looks down at his wristband, and he has the choice to pick. You know, there's a few plays he can pick from, and whatever play he's most comfortable with, he goes to.
Pretty nice to have a sophomore quarterback that's got that level of command of the offense.
Absolutely.
Pass rush bearing down on him, and he has to get rid of it before he wanted to, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Tarver out on the outside.
And, of course, he calls the play downtown, but good job by UNLV getting some pressure. You don't want Love to stand back there alone, just enough to give him a little love tap to make that ball just sail out of bounds.
Jameer Outsey brought the pressure from his defensive end position. Senior for Somerset, New Jersey. This week, Utah State receiving votes in both polls. They continue this. The votes are going to keep coming. Their first votes as it's Thompson. And he's untouched inside the 30 and finally brought down at the 25. But Bruce, this Utah State team trying to get the attention of the national media, and they're starting to do so. This is the first time they've been getting votes in a poll since the 2015 season. And here it's Thompson again. And he will go down at the 21-yard line.
And I'm kind of surprised it's taken a little while for them to get some votes, because this is a good all-around football team, and I'm surprised no one has picked up on it earlier. I mean, they played Michigan State tough first game of the year, and they continue to play well.
In the AP poll, they're number 32. In the coaches poll, they're number 33. It should continue to rise. I just think, again, there were very low expectations. I'm not sure people bought in at first when they saw some of the good results.
Especially when you're looking at the teams they play, and
right.
They're probably saying, look, had they beat a really good team.
Right, had they won at Michigan State and not just gotten close, I think that probably would have gotten votes earlier.
Absolutely, but I think this is going to be a top 25 team very shortly.
Again, I mean, they're talking up here. Granted, I know you could start to drink the Kool-Aid, but they're considering 11-1 as an option. Do you think that's a possibility? I
absolutely do.
Yeah.
I see these guys, I watch them on film, but they're very well coached. They do great things offensively, defensively.
Love completes it to Tarver. And Tarver gets to the 20-yard line.
You know, Love just has a really compact delivery in motion. He's very accurate with the football. David Yo says he wants to continue to see him be more consistent with his feet.
And we got a good comment from Matt Smith, who reminds us that the elevation in Vegas is 2,000 feet, and it's over 4,000 here, so it's just not as big a deal as you might think. Just because it's, you know, because of the elevation in Nevada where they make their home. Thompson. And he'll be a little bit shy. I'd be curious whether they think about going for it or they're going to kick it. And here comes Eberle. They're going to attempt a field goal. Now, he did miss his opening attempt of the day, and that was big news because he had not missed this season until he missed from 27 yards out.
And last time I was here, he was breaking records with all the field goals he had in one game against New Mexico State.
35-yard attempt for Eberle. Got a chance this year to win the Lou Groza Award. Was a finalist last year. DJ Nelson, the holder. Kick is on the way, has the distance, and no good. Dominic Eberle struggling. It's about the only area that isn't going well for the Aggies. And let's go to Danny.
Hey guys, I want to check in really fast on Instagram. Whacker Racker in Duluth, Minnesota. They're in line to watch the Avett brothers. Pretty cool. They're in line and watching our broadcast. Very cool. Thanks guys so much. Janelle was a UNLV fan, but in Logan. So try that out for you. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. VM Wall 87, very determined to see an Aggie win. Well, it's looking pretty good for them right now. And I want to bring back in our student correspondent, Paige Zamora, because you were so great at halftime. We want to continue to talk to you, of course. But tell me a little bit about campus life here at Utah State. What makes it different than maybe a college I would go see in Los Angeles, where I currently live?
You know, we're kind of spoiled here at Utah State. We have the beautiful scenery. I'm sure you saw it as you were driving in the canyon. I hope you've been able to see some shots on the camera too. We're so spoiled with all the outdoorsy everything that we hammock, we paddleboard, we do everything outside as long as the weather's great. I know it's hard to believe that we get nice weather here with the weather we had today, but it's really fun. Everything we can do outside we do, and everybody loves going to every type of game and everything like that, so it's a blast.
You were talking to me about that because there are so many people here, and I was asking her if it's just because of homecoming, but she said that's not the case.
Yeah, it's so great to be in a town that's just kind of centered around the university, because everybody comes out, everybody and their grandma, and that's not an exaggeration. And especially with homecoming, there's like family reunions going on all over. My family even, everybody came. I have family from Washington here to watch this game.
I love that. But you were born and raised in Utah. Is there something that is special about people that were born and raised in Utah that happen to stay in state and go to Utah State?
Well, I think we have a little bit more of a chip on our shoulder as far as football comes. So I don't know. It's so fun because we have like 3 main universities here, and there's a lot of really great schools here, but being Utah State, you know, we're the farthest north, sometimes we get overlooked by the other ones, but this season it's so great to see that everybody's kind of finally recognizing us for what we're worth, and we're really stoked about it, as you can see. Yeah.
Absolutely. And her husband, mind you, went to BYU, so I know that had to have been quite a rival for sure. Well, we are actually, Paige thankfully knows a bunch of these kids over here in the student section, so stay tuned to that because I'm going to go check out that student section. They're pretty lively over there.
All right, sounds good, Danny. We look forward to that. Maybe you can stay warm in there. Gillum going down the field for Collins, and it was a little grab there by the defender, and there's the call. It wasn't much of a grab, but it was enough of one. DJ Williams. You got to figure if I can see it from here.
Pass interference. Defense, number 7, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Sometimes, though, I want to see the receiver finish through this football.
Oh, he's holding the jersey.
He's looking for the flag. He might get it anyways, but still try to attack that ball because he may be able to still get to the football, and you rely on the flag because you never know if the refs are going to call it or not, but I think he clearly grabbed it.
See, the fans don't like it because they saw the very end of the play and not about 2 steps before the ball got there, and that's when he was on the jersey.
Absolutely.
And we got a false start.
False start, offense, number 78, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Justin Polu, guilty there, the junior from Henderson, Nevada, not far outside of Las Vegas.
You see him smiling. He's like, man, I hate getting my name called out.
I had a buddy who was an offensive lineman, played at a little school Lycoming back east, and he told me that he liked to get one full start so he could hear his name one time.
That's beautiful. I love it. O-linemen are the greatest.
Gillum in trouble. He'll go down. Leilua, the sack. It's at least 4 sacks today that I've counted.
Look at Leilua fighting off 3 blockers and continues to attack the quarterback. Gillum, he should have stayed in the pocket right there and got rid of the football. He escaped too soon where he didn't have protection outside, but Leilua with a great job fighting off 3 blocks to make that sack.
It's Williams. And they got a long ways to go still on 3rd down. That sack that he took, I mean, how would you coach him up there, Bruce? Because you're trying to make a play. You're getting beat pretty bad on the road. How do you coach a guy up to handle that situation?
Yeah, you go through your reads in the pocket. When he felt like nothing is there, attack the line of scrimmage. If you are going to scramble outside the pocket, once you get outside the pocket, throw the football away, throw it out of bounds so you live to play another day.
And instead, he put him in a real tough spot, 3rd and 18. Gillum, and that one's out of the reach of the receiver. That's Presley. Aaron Wade in coverage, number 4.
I like the aggressiveness of UNLV. They're taking chances downfield, and Gillum hasn't played much this year, so sometimes some of those deep throws downfield, it's hard to connect. You don't get much practice of it in practice, and he's going to continue to progress as the more he plays.
Jordan Nathan, ball's out, picked up by the Rebels. That's the only way the Rebels get back in the game is they need some help. Evan Austrie there to pick up the loose ball.
That's exactly what they need, Ari. You said it. You need plays like that. Great job, special teams, making a play and popping this ball out of Jordan Nathan's hands. And he has no clue where the ball went. And terrific job, UNLV, just diving on that football.
First and 10 for the Rebels at the 26-yard line. And we have a flag here.
False start, offense, number 70, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
That's the center, Sid Acosta.
And I want to look at Gillum. When he comes to the line of scrimmage and he's changing the play, how quick is he to just bark out a sound? You have to give a easy, so the line understands you're about to change the play because they're just a little too quick to jump.
First and 15. It's Campbell. And Campbell brought down after about a gain of, we'll call it like a gain of 7 there.
I think for the most part, this offensive line up front for UNLV, they have come to play. They've established somewhat of the line of scrimmage. These outside zone type plays, they're getting some creases downfield for the running back to hit that hole.
Christiansen made that last tackle. Gillum completes it to Woods. He takes it for the touchdown. Gillum to Woods, and the Rebels score first in the third quarter.
And that's that play they continue to come back to. It's like a double slant on the bottom of your screen. Gillum has the opportunity to either hand the ball to the running back, or pull it and hit the slant. He hit the inside slant for the touchdown.
Well, UNLV trying to copy Utah State. That was a 35-second drop.
Special teams started it off.
Gillum gets the touchdown pass, his first of the afternoon. Extra point is up, and it is good from Pantels.
Gillum, good play action fake. See, he can hand it or throw it. Great catch right there. The ball is high. Makes a terrific catch. Good job by UNLV capitalizing.
Let's go to Danny.
Well, with it being homecoming, we talked to Coach Wells about how busy he is. Not only was he preparing for this game, but also hosting recruits. Homecoming is always a very big recruiting weekend. He has 4 official visits and then dozens, he said, of unofficial visits from people that live in the state. So very cool. But then we also talked about Coach Sanchez and his recruiting. And he talked a lot about how, you know, when you look at a school like Utah State and other Mountain West schools, that they have really great facilities, and UNLV is on the come up of that. The Fertitta family complex is being built. He's super excited about it, and he should be, because the Fertitta family pledged $10 million towards this. It's a 73,000 square foot 2-level complex, the largest single gift in school history. It's being built on campus in the north end of the team's practice area and overlooks the football fields. It will be the day-to-day home of the program, including an academic center, locker rooms, offices, meeting rooms, strength and conditioning center, media, training tables, a nutrition bar, athletic training center, and a player lounge. So these types of facilities are what captures the eyes, the hearts of a young recruit. You know, think about it. You're a high school player, and you are walking around and you see a complex that really just blows your mind over the other. That's what UNLV wants, and that's what they're going to be able to get here with this. And on top of that, they're also going to be getting a new stadium that they're going to share with what's going to be the Las Vegas Raiders. So pretty cool there as well. Another big recruiting tool, and I know that's something that they're definitely going to be keeping their eyes on, especially when you look at a game like this. Obviously, the Rebels are going to be in a little bit of a rebuild, and getting more recruits, more talented recruits down to UNLV will definitely help this football program. Bruce, when you were doing this and you were doing the recruiting process, do you remember what caught your eye?
Danny, you're absolutely right. You're a young kid, and you want the best of the best. You want to be enamored. When you walk into a facility, you want to see your jersey being hung up. You want to see these beautiful facilities. And it was a great piece by you, Danny, because that's what these young kids want to see. They want to go to these facilities, these colleges, and see the best of the best. And it's really good for UNLV to be building these, because you want recruits. All these other colleges, look at the Utah State right now, how beautiful this campus is.
Well, Becky on Facebook wants to know if they're going to have slot machines at the facility. That's a Facebook question. Don't kill the guy asking.
Hey, you never know.
You never know. I like that. I don't think they will, but it can't hurt recruiting to have a brand new facility and knowing you're going to be in a world-class, state-of-the-art football stadium in a couple years.
So Ari, do you know who my first collegiate start was against?
Well, only because we're talking. I'm thinking we're going UNLV.
You're right, brother. Both my grandmas came to that game. They were out till 4 or 5 in the morning playing on the slot machines.
That's it. It's Gerald Bright. Good hard running. Picks up 7 yards on first down.
That's that offensive line up front, led by Ficklin, the center, creating those holes right up the middle.
Ficklin, he does it in the classroom as well. 3.2 GPA. It's his 19th game, his 19th start. The BYU transfer from Mesa, Arizona. That's the big guy right there. so much responsibility on that center to make sure everybody's where they need to be.
Yep.
It's Bright to the edge. Austria is there and forces him out of bounds at the 35. Carson Terrell, tight end, 88, makes a key block here, Bruce.
He absolutely does. And Austria with the touchdown saving tackle, but good job by Utah State switching up, going up the middle, now hitting the edge.
It's Bright, gain of a couple there. It's Gabe McCoy.
And the coaches talked highly of Terrell coming into this football game. They knew he was going to get a lot of reps because Dax Raymond's down, so it's good to see him, pulling his weight in the running game, not just catching the football.
Yeah, they're high on him, and Raymond's just a junior, so they've got him for more time, and he's a heck of a talent at tight end.
And he's an NFL caliber tight end, so he's a name we'll hear about in the future.
Bright. And Bright gets it to the 29-yard line. Got pulled down in a crowd there. Dalton Baker with the stop.
And third down and medium. Look for them to take a shot.
Jordan Love takes a shot on cue from Bruce. Caught! Touchdown, Aggies! 29 yards, and it's Tarver again for the Aggies.
Look at Love right here. He was about to lick his fingers, get a good grip on that football. Look at that tight spiral downfield. Basically dropped it into the breadbasket.
I mean, he barely knew the ball was there. It was like he got there and he's like, uh-oh, better get my hands up.
Tarver did not even have to move his hands barely, but that's a great job. Love recognizing coverage once again and taking that one-on-one matchup outside.
All right, just want you to know Jordan Love's numbers. You take one more look at the touchdown. He's now 17 of 23, 322 yards, 5 touchdowns, no turnovers.
Oh, I love it. Look at him. Smooth operator, good footwork, 3 and a hit from the shotgun, and he lays a dime.
That is some throw. Let's check in downstairs with Danny.
He's that NFL body.
Almost a great catch made. Again, the throw was just a little bit high for Stevenson. Ingram was there in coverage.
And what's tough sometimes is on these RPOs, the run pass options, the offensive line is blocking for the run. So you don't have a lot of time or protection to throw a pass or hold on to the football. So that's why you watch Gillum. He's getting hit after all these passes because they're blocking the run.
When the RPO is done right, boy, it has really been something that's really added to the sport.
Yep.
And Woodward's trying to yank that ball out, and Woodward won't get the strip, but he'll get the sack.
This Utah State defense is all over the place, and they start to get hungry for these turnovers. Look at them twisting up front. Woodward comes around, starts trying to strip the football. Good job being aware of where the football is and trying to force another turnover. But that's Keith Patterson once again, having the defensive linebackers twisting up front.
They already blocked one punt, almost got a second one. And no place to go this time for Jordan Nathan.
It's even dangerous, Jordan Nathan trying to scoop it there.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Especially where it is on the field. It wasn't like the ball was going to go another 25 yards. Why risk it? As he did have a fumble here in this third quarter. And that was what allowed UNLV to get the touchdown. Good day for Woodward.
That's what's impressive. We continue to call out different names.
Yeah.
And every name we call up, there's some great stats about them. Creating turnovers, fumbles, tackles for losses. Really good defense, and they're very well coached.
Henry Columbia is in at quarterback, the freshman. So Jordan Love's day is done. 5 touchdown passes, ties a school record, and is a new career high for Jordan Love. So his day is done. I read you that stat line. 17 of 23, 322 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 turnovers.
Unbelievable day.
So Columbia will get some reps here. El Toro Allen in at running back, number 22. And he has the football. And gets to the outside, and Good finish on the run. It's going to bring up 3rd and short. Call it third and a yard. Demetrius Gibbs finally got him to get out of bounds.
And they just want to get the young quarterback started, get him into a little rhythm, easy pass, a little swing pass to the running back, get completions, and backup quarterback. You want to come in, get as many snaps as you can, just make good decisions.
Columbia, and that's almost picked off by Javen White. They love this guy. Javen White has got the versatility to do a lot of things. He was a safety through high school. And then now they've moved him up to play outside linebacker, but he's a heck of an athlete at 6'2", 195.
Yeah, I mean, because he's also physical like a linebacker. He looks like a safety. I mean, he can do it all. He can cover. Very good play by him, being aware of where that football was and getting his hands up.
Taylor Hintz on to punt. Stevenson back deep at his own 6-yard line. Short punt. Stevenson will come up and fair catch it. Place him about the 9-yard line. A good job there by the UNLV defense to get the quick stop. Do you think we've seen the last of Jordan Love for the day? I got to figure that's it for him.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a good decision by Coach Matt Wells, because you don't want to take you don't want to risk the chance. I mean, the guy's had a wonderful day, very efficient, accurate, making good decision with the football, and give the young guys opportunities now to make plays, because they have to be ready for when their time comes. There's just
Charles Williams, no place to go.
I was just going to say, there's no room for this offense to run.
Woodward, another tackle.
And when you see Woodward making all these tackles, you have to give a lot of credit up front to the defensive line, because the offensive line's not able to get up to the second level to block those linebackers, and that's why Woodward is running free, making these tackles for losses, tackles for short gains.
UNLV gets the first down. Darren Woods makes the catch. He has a touchdown for the Rebels this afternoon. Fortenberry in coverage for the Aggies.
And that's why when you stay ahead of the chains and you're in a 3rd down and medium, your playbook's wide open. Just a nice little quick out by Woods. Gilliam with a good accurate football for an easy first down.
Williams, the ball carrier. And he'll pick up 3 yards on first down. Christopher Unga in on the stop for the Aggies. Run the option. That ball's on the carpet, ball's out, and Williams able to recover it. Dangerous play there.
That's that speed option they've been trying to run, and Rockmore, watch him attack off the line of scrimmage, and he attacks the quarterback. He knows his responsibility, and when teams run the option, there's a guy for the quarterback and a guy for the running back, and I'll guarantee Rockmore's guy was the quarterback right there.
Yeah, he was on a mission to the quarterback. He was going to force the pitch. 3rd and long. Keep it on the ground. Conservative play calling. A nice open field tackle as Owens couldn't get to the edge. DJ Williams with the tackle. And that'll force the Rebels into a punting situation.
UNLV hoping to get Utah State in a zone coverage that they could hopefully hit a crease and give it a little gas for a 3rd down and long. But good job of the Utah State defense being in that zone coverage, but rallying to the football.
Line drive kick. It's Tompkins on the return, and he's tripped up just barely. Or he might have gotten to the edge. Just 14 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter.
It's giving guys opportunities all around the field. Tompkins back there to return the punt. Gives him chances in this football game to see what it feels like. Game action, the wind's blowing. You got different colored jerseys run down trying to basically kill you, and you have to, try to catch that punt.
And how about that the sun's back out? It was predicted by one of our friends on Facebook. Like he said, just wait in the 4th quarter, it'll be a beautiful day. Just wait long enough. Columbia, the ball carrier, and what'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter. I know they like to go fast. They can't go this fast.
Yeah.
So the 3rd quarter will come to an end. 49-14, Aggies in front. So after they trailed 7-0, it's been all Utah State. And while we catch our breath, let's go down to the field to Danny, who's in the stands.
Yeah, no longer in the field. It's exciting. I'm in the stands. I wanted to find some body heat before the sun came back out. Now they did. But I'm with a whole bunch of animals. They make a lot of noise. You guys make noise out here, right? Yeah. Okay, so we've got a unicorn. We're going to start here. Why the unicorn heads?
When we did it for the whiteout game, we had so much fun in the student section, the herd, we decided to keep it going.
And you, Mr. Over here, it is your birthday. Happy birthday to Mason, right? What's going on with your one piece here?
Well, I figure I got to show off school pride. Got to get ready for the Scotsman, so what better way to spend a birthday than in a game?
Oh, I love that. So is this every game you guys dress up like different animals? This is a thing?
Oh, yeah, every game.
Oh, wow. I've seen quite – you guys, if you can take a look at this, can you guys come down here a little bit for me? He's eating spinach. Talk about really getting into the role here. Keep coming down. We've got more and more. I think we had a lion. Yep, we've got lion at some point. He was on this side. Okay, so there's a point in the stadium where why don't you tell me? Why are you dressed as a lion? What do you look for?
So every game we do a Simba cam, and this game we had an actual Simba, and we lifted me up, and we had a Rafiki over there.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. You guys love coming out to the football games like this?
Oh, it's the best. Like, there's nothing better than an Aggie crowd. It's amazing.
Can you believe this score right now? It keeps you guys here. Can you believe this?
What was that?
Can you believe this score right now?
Oh, of course I can. We kick everyone's butts every week, so not surprised.
Kicking everyone's butt every single week. Yeah, this guy won't even talk to me. He's too busy eating his spinach. It's really impressive. I need to get on this guy's diet. You guys, what makes campus life so much fun and coming out to a game like this, or just games in general? It's homecoming weekend.
I know, it's just the spirit of being an Aggie and being here every game and feeling the herd. It's the best feeling in the world.
Can you guys be really loud for me? Give them a little bit of a taste on how loud you guys can get. I'm going to kind of get out of your way. Ready, set, start cheering for me. Everyone cheering except for the dude with the lettuce who lifted up the spinach. It's good stuff over here, guys. A lot of fun in the student section, regardless of what's going on the score here. They are happy that their Aggies are ahead this much.
I really like the bunny just eating the spinach. I mean, I like how he didn't get out of character.
And I was thinking about how you need one of those suits to keep you warm.
I would love if one of those guys wants to come up here with one of those full-length, warm animal bodysuits. I'll take it.
How awesome was that, how serious he was eating
So
that
serious.
spinach.
You got to stay focused, man.
I love it.
3rd and 11. Columbia came into the game late in the 3rd quarter. Jordan Love, just an incredible day. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Jordan Love is the leader in the clubhouse for the Mountain West Offensive Player of the Week for the 2nd week in a row.
Yeah.
Right?
And even before the bye, he won it. So
Yeah.
it'd be like three
times, yeah. He won it once last year, I believe, as well.
3 straight UNLV games, he would be the Offensive Player of the Week. Because before the bye against Air Force, he got it.
Okay.
So very impressive, though. And we saw it earlier. Some of these magnificent catches these receivers are making, the running backs hitting the holes, the offensive line. It starts with the offensive line, giving Jordan Love protection. But it's good. I mean, and very well coached football team.
Stevenson tracking the ball. He says, guys, just get away from it. Takes an Aggie bounce, and Rockmore will down it at the 22-yard line. Stadium has a new fall lineup. We start the day at 10 a.m. Eastern with a new morning show called The Territory, where we take you through the biggest stories in sports across the country. Sauce and Shram moves up 3 hours and will air at noon, followed by a new high school show, Emerge, at 2 p.m. Campus Insiders moves back a half hour to 2:30, and we wrap up the day by setting you up for the night in sports with The Rally, Game Time in America at 6. Stadium, a new way to watch sports. Welcome to the game. An action-packed day they've got for you.
Well, this is unbelievable to watch games. You know, especially UNLV fans, if you can't get to the game, or even Utah State, you have kids at home, you can't get out of the house. We saw the one couple watching the game on their phone. Awesome opportunity. Just tune into your teams and watch it while they play.
This is the wave of the future. I've been doing streaming games with this company, which is now morphed into Stadium, for years. And it's incredible how it took the fans a little while to get accustomed to it, to realize they could still have their 50-inch big screen and just stream on it. I think a lot of people made the disconnect, well, I can only watch it on my phone or my computer. It's like, no, get that thing streaming up on your big screen.
Right.
And now everybody's on board with it. And you watch this company continue to grow. And they added a couple other companies, and it's now Stadium. But I think for fans, this is a nice opportunity because they can even branch off into groups and just watch the game with other fans of their team. So you could just have Utah State fans in a conversation on Facebook while you're watching the game.
Well, and that's what I love is when the fans get involved.
Yep. And there's Jordan Love. He's just chilling at this point. And we've got Eileen, who's watching from Melbourne, Australia. Pretty impressive.
Yeah. See, and that's what I love, the feedback. You know, when they talk to us, ask us questions, and just get involved with the fans. Danny doing a great job in the student section. Is that her surfing across the crowd now? Eating some pizza
Someone
and spinach.
is surfing across the crowd. That is the mascot. All right, here we go. We got the Texas Rattlesnake family is in the house. They're having some fun at the game. It's a good shot. Good camera work there for the selfie.
Bash some heads. I like it. That's what that
Misty.
That's what that offensive line has done today for Utah State.
It's the family of Rob Castaneda, number 70, starting right guard for the Aggies. Charles Williams, the ball carrier, not much room to work with there.
You know, I don't know if they're going to get to that 64.
Oh, I don't think so anymore. My original score of 53-17 is looking better and better.
Yeah. 2 safeties.
Hey, man, the drop kick's 4 points. I mean, let's see, maybe.
Maybe.
Drop kick and a field goal.
Eberle needs to switch it up today, maybe.
Well, yeah, he's struggling with the regular kicks. It's a beautiful play there from the safety position. He knew that one was coming. That's Shaq Bond, who in this game already has 6 tackles, and give him credit for a pass defended there.
Shaq Bond reading this perfectly, breaking on the football just in time. You know, UNLV has ran this play so many times that Utah State continues to talk about it on the sideline. Hey, be alert for that fake handoff double slant coming, and Bond read it perfectly.
Gillum, dangerous throw, and it's complete after it was tipped. Bit of good fortune there for UNLV as Techman touched it, and then it ended up in the hands of Tylee Collins, the true freshman.
Hey, right place,
Right time, 34 yards.
Gillum will take it. You take whatever you get right now. Good job taking it, stepping up in the pocket, attacking the line of scrimmage, and lofting it downfield.
They run the option. It's Owens, and Owens forced out of bounds at the 43-yard line by David Woodward.
You know, I don't know if UNLV has a good passer, a running back that can throw the football, but they need to run that option, pitch it to him, and then throw it to a wide receiver.
Okay.
You know, the wide receiver comes off the ball, acts like he's going to stock block and takes it to the house. It'd be cool to see. They need to pull it out. I'll microphone down to Coach Sanchez.
Owens the ball carrier, and a flag comes in at the conclusion of the play. Woodward came out of the pile with the football, but the play had been whistled dead prior to him taking the ball away.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Well, the referee didn't signal anybody out there.
That foul was on number 24.
Oh, there we go. I was a little too soon on that.
I'm just going to say this defensive line, though, continuing to clog holes.
That's Dalton Baker on the defensive ends, 24. First and 10 for the Rebels. And it's Owens. Picks up maybe a yard on the play.
And this defensive line, they dominated the line of scrimmage last week against BYU, and they're doing it again today. Doing a very good job. And if you win the line of scrimmage battle offensively, defensively, it gives your opportunity to your playmakers, linebackers, safeties, and then on offensive ball, running backs, receivers, quarterback.
And that's incomplete.
And there's that play again. They fake the run double slants behind it. And, you know, he just continues to leave that ball too high. And these receivers coming in the middle of the field, they're getting tentative now the way this Utah State defense has been hitting today.
The give is to Owens, and Owens slashes. Nice job. Gets the first down.
Owens with a fantastic cut right here. He's running a stretch play, and then he puts his left foot in the ground and gets vertical, and running north and south, a hard north and south runner, enough to get the first down.
I'll tell you one thing Coach Sanchez will be happy about. They weren't pleased with the effort in the game against New Mexico. They've had no issues with effort today, UNLV. And Gill put that ball right on the receiver. I'll tell you this, he's been pretty darn accurate this afternoon.
He has. He's been throwing good footballs. A few in the middle of the field have been alligator armed.
Yep.
And you have to make tough plays. Look, early on the football game, they had some penalties that hurt them. But like you just pointed out, I think their effort has been here all day. They came to play today. And just unfortunately, they're playing a very good Utah State football team.
Oh, and almost a chance for a touchdown. He gave his receiver a chance there.
And when you bring the cover zero blitz, Keith Patterson, everyone up in the line of scrimmage looking at him, breathing down his neck, takes a good hit. But you have an opportunity with one-on-one matchups outside, so you have to make that play. It was a good back shoulder pass. Just couldn't get both hands on that football to bring that football in for a touchdown.
3rd and 10 for the Rebels. Gill moves out, scrambles, catch is made. Not a big gain there. Do you go for it here, or do you kick it?
Yeah, I think you have to. You have to go for it. If not just because of the score, but because you want your offense to be in different situations and work on going for it on 4th down. And even as an offensive play caller, what's your 4th down play call right here? And I expect defense coordinator Patterson just really come after him here.
4th down. They can get a first down at the 2-yard line. Blitz is coming. Gets it out there, caught, touchdown Rebels. Wasn't easy, but the Rebels keep fighting it, and that's Drew Techman with the catch for the touchdown.
And Drew Techman, good release. He's in the slot. Good back shoulder fade, goes up and catches the football. Really good job, Gilliam, recognizing the coverage, and like we talked about, Patterson did bring an all-out zero blitz, which left that one-on-one matchup that they took advantage of.
Extra point is up, and it is good. 49-21 our score with 10:25 to go in the fourth quarter. And Danny, I understand, is still up in the stands, but this time with a little different crowd. Danny?
Yes, that's right. UNLV punter Hayes Hicken. I've got his family here because he is from Utah. Even though he plays for UNLV, he is from Utah. And actually, in fact, he even played for Utah before transferring. He's got 15 family members here, and from my understanding, I'm pretty high up in the stand, so it might be kind of hard to find us visually, but just listen in. I'm going to talk to his parents right now. What is it like being able to bring this many family members together to be able to watch him in person?
Excited. He's so excited to have his friends here, and then family, and then my friends, and more friends. He loves it.
From high school, or from grade school? Tell me who's here.
Friends, and this is a high school friend over here. Well, oh, sorry. One has been with him since like elementary. They've been on every team together.
Were you pretty excited to see him?
Of course, we're way pumped for Hayes. Yeah, he's our boy.
I love this. I mean, I know that the game isn't going exactly as everybody probably would have wanted on your guys' end of things, but have you been able to see him yet?
Oh, of course. Yeah, he's had some great punts. He had one land at the 1, go straight up, perfect punt. He's had a couple land inside the 10 on the other side of the field. We're pumped for him.
Growing up with him, what was he like as a person?
Oh, great guy. Kind of soft-spoken at times, but he's always been a fun guy to be around. Great athlete. In high school, he was probably the best athlete in our grade. Played basketball, football, soccer. All around great guy.
And we always say punters are people too, absolutely. Punters are people too. I love this. Can you tell us a little bit more about what he was like growing up here in Utah? What did he like to do? Because I think that the lifestyle here might be a little bit different.
Everything was sports. He loves sports. He played when he was 3 years old. I had to carry him off the field one time in soccer because he was so mad because he wasn't winning. So I took him off the field. So yeah, he's very competitive.
I love that though. That's an important aspect. Where does he get that competitive nature from, Dad?
From her. Yeah, go Rebels.
Go Rebels. I love it. I have a trivia question for you guys that I'm going to pose in just a second, but first I have to show you guys. So right when UNLV just scored, they have a Tootsie Roll back here, and it just started raining Tootsie Rolls. All of a sudden, they just started throwing all these Tootsie Rolls all the way across the fans. I think they've got some extra for me. I win. Okay, here's the trivia question for you guys right now. Punters are people too, so here's the deal. He averaged 56.2 yards per punt against UTEP, which was good enough for second on UNLV's list for average in a game. So here it is. Who has the highest punting average for a game at UNLV? Let me know in the comments.
You can go ahead and guess in the comments. I could just tell you because he was the quarterback of my favorite NFL team. Threw you off there. It's quarterback. Let the brain simmer.
Randall Cunningham.
Bam. We didn't get to have a lot of people answer, but we got it out there. All right, upcoming schedule at Wyoming. Never easy to go there. New Mexico at home. Facebook will be right back here for that one. At Hawaii. Never easy to go to Hawaii and win. The San Jose State here. At Colorado State. I mean, you look at that, those 5 games. I see at least 4 wins, if not 5.
Yeah. And anytime you go on the road, I mean, at Wyoming, who knows what the weather's going to be like. But I think the way this team is coached and the way their focus is, that they'll handle those games. I mean, I can't say it enough how well coached this football team is. I mean, UNLV has a little sense of urgency now.
Allen again. Gets hit pretty hard. Push back. I'm going to give him a gain of 2 yards on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 7. 3rd downs today, Utah State 5 for 10 on 3rd down.
I'm just impressed the way UNLV continues to play. They haven't stopped. They haven't laid down. They're still playing aggressive, flying to the football.
It's going to be incomplete. Can keep his feet in bounds. Taylor Compton.
Good job by Jericho Flowers, pushing him out of bounds. not giving them an opportunity to haul that ball in. Anytime you're on the sideline, it's hard for receivers because you're focused on not only catching the football, but keeping your feet in bounds as well. They're going to get some pretty good field position here as well.
And not a particularly good punt. Stevenson's just going to get out of the way. All right, Dominic Eberle back in week 2 had one of the greatest kicking performances in NCAA history, and here's a look back at that fantastic performance.
Dominic Eberle, one of the best kickers in the country. Three 0 Utah State. Eberle just made from 44.5. This one from 32. And he's 2 for 2. From 52 yards out. It's on line, it has the leg, and it's good. Eberle, the All-American, missed 4 field goals in the bowl game against New Mexico State. He's 4 for 4 in the rematch. Are we going to get another 50-plus yarder from Dominic Eberle? 1, 2, ball, she's a dandy. And he's got this one again. That ties the NCAA record for points from a kicker. He has 24 points in this game.
Mr. Automatic.
Well, there have been plenty of kicker troubles in the NFL lately. There's a lot of teams that could use a guy like Dominic Eberle. You know, Eberle may have struggled a little bit today, which is very uncharacteristic for him, but we do want to talk about that record-setting games that he did against New Mexico State, because he had the game of his life. In the 60-13 win over New Mexico State, he tied the NCAA record for points scored in a game by a kicker with 24. He also tied an NCAA record with 3 51-yard field goals. Just the 6th player ever to kick 3 50-plus yard field goals in a game. Pretty impressive. He's 4 of 4 in his career from 50-plus yards, 7 of 13 between 40 and 49 yards. You know, he missed some today, but I don't think that's really going to make anybody less confident in this guy. He's also perfect on extra points for his career, which is a school record as well. So let's give some love to the kickers here in the comments, guys. Graham Gano, maybe?
Remains first down.
8:52 to go in this one. Is it me or is fourth quarter they're just purposely dragging this thing out as slow as humanly possible? Are you just supposed to run the ball in a game like this?
Yeah,
just be done with it?
I know. Well, UNLV has some opportunities here. They have a little sense of urgency. I want to see them take some shots. You know, I was at that game. Eberle was nailing those field goals, tying NCAA records. It was pretty cool. It was a cool game to be a part of and to watch. And he just kept nailing them. I mean, the dude was automatic. Every different range, short ones, medium ones, long ones. He kept hitting them from all over. It was just a really fun night. Cool to see him excited and cool to see him tie that record.
Gillum, he's shown the ability to do this on multiple occasions, and he picks up the first down. They're getting great effort from him.
Yeah, they tried doing a stutter go on the outside. The receiver runs off the ball, stutters at 10 yards, trying to get the cornerback to jump on the route and throw the go ball past him, but the corner didn't bite. Gillum did a good job buying some time outside the pocket, scrambling to make it 3rd and short.
3rd and short. They get the big back in there. The block in front of Charles Williams. Looked like he had a false start, and they didn't see it. He's not going to get the first down. David Woodward and company able to get in there, get the stop.
And that's Keith Patterson, defense coordinator. Every time it's a 3rd and short, he shifts his line of scrimmage. The defensive line shifts. They're trying to get that offensive line to jump or move right before the snap. It worked earlier in the game.
They're going to go for it on 4th down. The Rebels today 1 for 1 on 4th down. They give it to Williams. He's not going to get it. The Aggie defense comes up with the stop. Christopher Unga and company still giving great effort. How about all those starters still out there on the field right now?
Is that unbelievable?
Yeah.
It's great to see that these guys continue to play. And Coach talked about this defensive line with Unga and the rest of the crew leading the way, how consistent Unga is and what he's been able to do. Watch him come off the football, handle his block, and then take on the runner. That is a very good defensive play by the defensive lineman, Unga. And this guy is special. You know, he's special to the coaches. He's a very consistent player. Doesn't say much, just does his job, leads by example. And right there, making huge 4th down stops. Definitely sets the tone.
Columby in at quarterback. He's been in there since the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, they really haven't had a chance to get things going offensively with Columby. And it's just it's the point in the game. It's the play calls. You know, you're just trying to run the football a little bit. You're not getting into a rhythm, but these are good snaps for him to take as a freshman to continue to get more comfortable being out here playing.
Walker in the game now at tailback. This offensive line, with all the skill guys, we will end up talking about their offensive line, but the offensive line, without them, none of this happens.
You're right.
Columby, the throw, the catch is made deep down the field. They definitely surprised the people with that play call, up 4 scores in the 4th. Scarver makes the catch, and what a throw from Columby, 37 yards on the play.
Yeah, Columby took a hit too, and he threw a dime downfield to Scarver, and he did a good job securing that catch as he got hit.
Walker. Do you feel like this is Coach Wells feeling like we're kind of just going through the motions in the 4th quarter? Let's try to get the spark back so you can finish strong?
Yeah, I think it's getting to that rhythm. He understands it's hard for a quarterback to hand it off twice and try to throw it on 1st down to get the 1st down. So you want to try to throw on 1st and 2nd down as well. And he's trying to give Columby an opportunity to put a drive together. Because it is still 49-21. It's not like, you know, UNLV has kind of gotten back into this game a little bit.
Walker going to cut it back and find a little seam, and he's going to get to the 10. Now, this offensive line's been outstanding. They've been so good protecting the quarterback. No sacks allowed, saying you see on the season, 27th best in FBS. And that's going to improve following this performance. And Walker's going to pick up the 1st down on 3rd and short. It's going to be 1st and goal at the 7.
And I think our man Jordan Love should take his boys out for a steak dinner.
As long as he has the money for it. I remember with all the rules in NCAA, you know, you were the NFL guy. You can afford that.
Maybe it's In-N-Out Burger then.
False start, offense, number 81. 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
That's on Scarver. Maybe you could offer to take Jordan Love and the offensive line out tonight. That'd be a nice gesture on your behalf.
I'll take him out for a good dinner.
Yeah, I'll spend your money.
So then when he's a 1st-round draft pick in the NFL, he'll remember me.
Hey, it's an investment in your future.
Yeah,
you got the kids at home. You got to look out for them.
Exactly. I could be his QB coach.
It's going to be a while before that NFL pension kicks in, you know?
Yeah, you're right. The 3 little ones at home.
Yeah. Nifty little run there by El Toro Allen. Farrell Hester, sophomore middle linebacker with the stop.
Farrell Hester showing some juice right there, covering sideline to sideline to make that tackle. I'm loving Utah State right now using this clock. They're doing a really good job from, with this drive in general, making this clock tick down, and really good drive by Columbia as well, making plays when he has to.
I think they like to get over 50 points, though. I mean, that's a nice total. I mean, they're number 3 in America this week.
Do you think
50 points?
Do you think they want the 50 or you because you had them at 53?
That's very. It's not about the announcers. I just think that that it is a statement to average more than 50 points per game. I think if you're preparing for a team and you see that number, you're like, wow.
Well, if you look at it too, what was it? 42. They had 42 points at halftime.
Yeah.
So for Matt Wells, he's going to come in. He's going to understand that he had some backups in the second half, but the standard is the standard.
Yeah.
You don't want it to continue to go down. You got to continue to produce.
Speaking of the standard, Eberle, who might be the best kicker in America, 0 for 2 today. This is from 24 yards. Get his confidence back. And the kick is good. And it's 52 to 21.
You're
there it is.
close, man.
Real
I
close.
like it.
All right, let's go to Danny.
All right, guys, well, now it's time for the next thumbs up, thumbs down I've got for you, because earlier we talked about one, and now I've got another one for you. So here's the deal. Boise State quarterback Brett Rypien ranks 2nd in Mountain West history with over 11,000 career passing yards. He just needs a little over 1,200 passing yards to take the top spot. He's got 7 games remaining, including a game this evening. So guys, thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you think he's going to get that top spot? A little over 1,200 yards to go, 7 games left. Bruce, let me hear you.
Thumbs up, baby.
Thumbs up.
He's got it. It's only around like 200 yards a game. My man's going to rip it.
I mean, this is a no-brainer. Double thumbs up. He's going to get it. I mean, they've got a lot of football left to be played. They could end up in the Mountain West Conference Championship game, which adds another game. Easily, Rypien's the guy. Ryan Lindley had a great run, being the #1 guy in the Mountain West for a long time, but I think it's Rypien's record if he stays healthy.
Yeah, I think so too. Like we talked about, he'll easily surpass it with over 200 yards a game. I think that's no issue.
Not an
We're
issue.
on the same page this time.
Hey, that's nice.
I like it.
Nice. First time to get. All right, Danny, where are you on this?
I think that he's going to get it too. And I got to say, Bruce, I like that you said he can rip it. Pun intended, Rypien. Did you do that on purpose or not? Did you do that on purpose, Bruce? That rip it for Rypien?
I slipped it in there, Danny.
I thought it was pretty clever. I'm impressed
Pretty
with you. I'm
nifty.
going to give him a thumbs up.
Hey, thanks, Danny. I appreciate it.
So Danny gave you a thumbs up?
Yeah.
Wow, you must feel great.
I mean,
There we are.
2 thumbs up on this one.
All-time passing leaders, and there he is passing Ryan Lindley, or he's going to pass Ryan Lindley, we believe. There's some good numbers Ryan Lindley put up. He bounced around the NFL for a number of years.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have the career of a Bruce Gradkowski, but, you can only do what you can do.
Yeah, that's hard to do, Ari,
It is. Very tough.
But, I appreciate the compliment from Danny because I know you're not giving me any up in the booth. So it's been fun, though, my man.
It has been fun.
I'm rooting for one more touchdown for Utah State because then it'll be closer to my guess at 60.
It's just about, I thought it wasn't about us. I guess in a blowout game, we can turn the attention back on us.
Absolutely.
52-21 score. And Dominic Eberle's got to feel a little bit better as he connects on a field goal.
Yeah, that's good that he's got that to end this game with, getting on the field, making a field goal. You hate that taste in your mouth of not making plays that you know are there that you're capable of.
Evan Owens on the return, and Owens gets to the 22-yard line. 3:10 to go in this one. Utah State team, boy, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with the rest of the season.
They don't got a jacket from my man Jordan Love on the sideline or what?
Look, maybe I thought you told me when you used to play, you wanted to look tough
Toledo,
out there
right.
at Toledo, and then you got Wise in the NFL, and you're like, do you have a warming sweater?
You're totally right.
Going down the field, Collins got it. See ya. No one's gonna catch Tylee Collins. Touchdown, Rebels. 71 yards. 74 officially. That is going to really have an impact on the final stat book.
Max Gillum, just a poke action fake. They suck up the safety and he drops a bomb behind him on a post. No one catching Collins after that one.
No way.
I mean, I just give UNLV a lot of credit continuing to play this game. You know, they haven't really laid down. They're continuing to fight back.
You heard us laughing. We saw the guy with the 1st and 10 marker realize, oh goodness, they're on the whole other end of the field. He went into a dead sprint.
I wish we had that on camera.
It would have been nice. All right, how about those numbers? It helps when you add a 74-yard touchdown. 4 catches, 139 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah,
but there have been enough positive things to happen for UNLV that I think you can build on this, because this is a game that, even with Armani Rogers, probably would have been tough to get a win here.
Yes, because physically they stuck in this football game. They started off, it was a good matchup. I think they were making plays. The thing Coach Sanchez is going to look at is the penalties early on that we remember. Jordan Love dropping the touchdown pass to Jalen Green on an offsides call, and multiple other ones, you know, a late hit out of bounds. And those are situations that you can control as a football team. Now, you have some players that are fun to watch and are explosive, like Collins. And then it's good for Gillum to continue to get another start under his belt and get more comfortable as he plays.
Here comes an onside kick.
Look at these guys getting ready to go get this football. I would not want to be on the receiving end of this.
Timeout, Utah State.
Utah State
First
didn't
time
think
out
they
of
were
the half.
ready for the
30
onside
seconds.
kick. So they're going to go over and talk it over it again. Matt Wells does not have a special teams coordinator. He is in all the special teams meetings. And a lot of starters play on all 4 special teams. I mean, he doesn't mess around. You want to be an elite player for him, you got to play special teams.
And I love it because that's where it starts, special teams. Look, when we're young players, even myself, when I was a redshirt freshman, I was the holder on all extra points. It gives you experience getting into the football game. Whether it's holding for an extra point or running down on kickoff, you have a responsibility, you have a job. And now as seniors, when you see seniors and captains on those special teams unit, it shows the younger guys how important this phase of the football game is.
Onside kick, flag is down, which makes me think they left early. Now, nothing used to drive me more nuts. You're going for an onside kick and your team's offsides. You're like, well, even if we'd have got it, we don't get the ball.
I know. Guys get antsy. You know, they're trying to really get a good takeoff, but.
Offside, kicking team, number 84. 5 yards be added to the succeeding spot. First down.
Compton was the guy able to get his hands on the football.
You're probably excited to get back to the LA weather.
Yeah, it wasn't great the last 2 days from what I hear. Look at that, 5 consecutive games, 40-plus points, program record. Justin Hervey, no place to go. He's going to lose a few yards on the play. I was just told from the truck that this is the exact same score that happened last year.
Wow. I mean, Coach Sanchez isn't stopping. He calls a timeout. He's trying to get this football back. I would love Matt Wells to drop a bomb on him, play action pass, and Columbia to the end zone.
Well, if you're going to call a timeout, you've opened it up for them to pass the ball. Now, if you don't want to have to put your defense back out there, you can do whatever you want. If you use the timeout, if you don't use the timeout, I think you should run it 3 times. But let's take a look at some scores. Army all over San Jose State, 52-3. New Mexico, a 1-point lead in Fort Collins, taking on the Rams. The rest of the action coming up later. Hawaii and BYU, Boise State and Nevada and Wyoming and Fresno State. All that coming up later. And they will throw it. And the catch is made. I think where he caught it, he doesn't have the first down. But like you said, if you're going to use a timeout, then you open yourself up for the other team to throw the ball.
You're absolutely
now, I don't know
right.
why they're up on the ball so quickly. It's another story. But
well, I think it poked the bear, the sleeping bear.
Okay, now they're going to slow it down. I thought, wow,
That was a good ball by Columbia, scrambling outside the pocket. Actually a designed sprint out to his right. It's always hard to throw on the run, and he threw a good, accurate football and great catch.
Columbia keeps it, still on his feet. See ya! Touchdown Aggies! The freshman quarterback, Columbia, takes it 37 yards.
Yes, go for 2.
So you think they poked the bear, and that's why Wells let him have it?
Yes. Columbia does a good job, little zone read, but that was a keeper because he had his tight end leading the way outside. Good job, Columbia, breaking a tackle.
Got a block from Travis Bowman on the outside.
That was the key block. That's what sprung him forward to be able to get into the end zone. Now it looks like my guess is closer to than yours right now.
Yeah, I had 53-17. And where were you?
You asked me at half, I said 60, and you kind of were like, that's it? And I was like, 64.
Yeah, you're pretty close. Now, you did say 60. I talked you out of it.
You did.
So you were originally, I mean, you're on point.
Well, it's been a lot of scoring since last time we talked. And
yeah, that's right.
It was 49.
Yeah.
10 points just like that. Last 2 minutes might be long, though, because you know UNLV is going to throw the football.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see how long they can play.
Utah State should just onside kick it.
Wow.
They want to get 70.
Utah State now with 598 yards in total offense. Owens on the return. And he'll be stopped at the 18-yard line.
It's fun watching kickoff. You know, watching the guys run down the field and make plays. It's an exciting time. There was one time I was on kickoff return and it was high school. And I remember just getting blasted thinking, you know what? Maybe I should just be that pretty boy quarterback that doesn't play special teams anymore.
I was going to use that exact same term. I was thinking of the pretty boy quarterbacks on the field and special teams. To talk to your head coach. Well, Gillum's like, you know what? I'm going to try this thing again. And Collins almost had it.
Gillum with a little sidearm slinger right there down the middle of the field, and Collins really should have caught it. I mean, it would have been a spectacular diving catch, but as he hit the ground, it was too hard to hold on to. But they found their play. That post over the middle of the field has worked the last couple times.
And Gillum's going to air it out again. No one's going to get to this one.
Same exact play.
And, you know, that's Kendall Keys. I don't think Keys has a catch today. And he does not. I mean, that's pretty rare. Kendall Keys is a legit threat, and they haven't gotten him the football.
Sometimes those posts are hard to throw because the angle the receiver comes out at the post, sometimes a quarterback, like right there, he left it too high, and the receiver was flattening his route across the field. It's hard to connect.
Seconds and lean.
All right, so another timeout. I'm going to be curious to see what kind of greeting these two head coaches have for each other, because things have gotten a little interesting lately. Just some of the play calling, you just wonder if it's going to rub one guy the wrong way a little bit.
You're right. It was Danny's halftime interview, and it was kind of like, cool, this is a good game. Strong performance by Utah State. Second half comes out. Little slow, no scoring really, and then all of a sudden this fourth quarter, an onside kick, a timeout, now dropping bombs down the middle of the field.
I mean, that's the only play call they're calling right now. It's the deep post. Third down,
It's like the Sandlot. Now they're just drawing it up in the dirt.
And Techman has it. He has enough for a UNLV first down.
And it looks like Gillum is getting more comfortable dropping back in the pocket. Some of these throws are more down his alley, not play action passing, just dropping back and having to throw a little comeback right there, a short comeback to the outside.
His numbers aren't bad, 18 to 35. You want a higher completion percentage. 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And he's in trouble. He'll go down. He is sacked. Jacoby Wildman there to get the sack. 6 sacks in the game for the Aggies.
And he was a wild man right there. Good job winning on the edge, Wildman.
That wasn't quite as good as ripping it, or the rip you had there. But that was still pretty good. Another throw deep down the field, incomplete.
Surprised there's no flag there.
There was plenty of contact. You could have had one there.
The refs are probably on the same page. Let's get out of this stadium. Their conversation earlier where they were going to eat, they're probably hungry. This is a fun student section, though, student crowd.
Rowdy. They're good for college basketball games, too. Their fans get into it up here. And Woodward's going to get the sack number 7.
Woodward, this guy's all over the place. Stop and runs, tackle for losses, now sacks. He just shoots the gap. They do a really good job twisting these guys up front. He just comes in there and makes a heck of a play. And they're really not giving this UNLV chance any life to come back.
And the final seconds ticking off the clock. UNLV is now 2-4 on the season. And the Utah State Aggies and Coach Matt Wells, congratulations, they're 5-1 and they've won 5 straight games. So an outstanding win for the Aggies. Brad, Bruce, I was talking about, yeah, I went to Brad, I like that. Bruce, what'd you learn today?
I learned this Utah State football team's the real deal. I think Jordan Love's the real deal. He continues to play well. The last 4 games, including this one, no interceptions, 5 touchdowns today, 322 yards, very efficient. It's a career high day for him, as you see there. And the guy continues to grow, and that's what David Yost, offense coordinator, and head coach Matt Wells are excited to see.
You think they end up going to the Mountain West championship game?
I do. I think they win it all this year, actually. I think this is a very good team. I think Fresno State's tough. I saw Fresno State this year when they played Toledo, and they're a very well-coached football team. But I think Utah State's the whole package, offense, defense, special teams.
Oh, goodness. It has been chilly up in this booth. You looking to get warm, partner?
Yes.
I know your PA's strong like me, but it's been chilly up here in the second half.
It's cold.
I'm coming back, and I think it's November 10th. We got to shut this thing off.
I heard
I'm
you
gonna bring a warm blanket.
I heard you already working it at halftime, saying, "Hey, this door's going to be down, right?"
I was trying my best to keep us warm, my friend. But a solid win for Utah State, 59-28. Personally, I give Danny the most credit for trying to stay warm down there.
Yeah, because I don't even think she owns warm clothes, she said, living in LA.
Let's go to Danny.
Coach, great win. First of all, a dominating performance offensively, a career day for Jordan Love. What can you say about this offense before you even took him off the field?
They're in a good rhythm right now. They're playing fast, and we're playing catch. We're catching balls and protecting Jordan right now.
7 sacks to 0 sacks for your offensive line, holding them back. What can you say about this defense getting after them? Because I think they don't get as much love as they should.
Well, they'll get love. You know, we got a little sloppy there at the end, so that's kind of why we're all down. But I thought our D-line and our linebackers got great pressure the whole game.
You're able to bring in some subs, so what was it like to see Columbia get in the end zone?
Yeah, that was good. It was good to finally see them get a drive because we sure weren't doing very much before that.
Okay, well, before I let you go, I want to talk about just the scene here. It's homecoming. You talked a lot about Aggie Brotherhood. You went here, you played here, and now you're here as a coach. A lot of former players around. How big was a win and a performance like this in front of those people?
Oh, it's important. It's important to win the next one, but you know, we play for the Aggie Brotherhood, the ones that came before us, the ones that are with us right now, which are our teammates, and then the ones that'll come after us. And it's important for us to play well in front of them.
Coach, good job.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Coach Wells and to the Aggies. 5 straight wins. That's got to feel really, really good. And a big thanks to our entire Stadium Live crew who presented this game on Facebook. On behalf of my broadcast partners, Danny Kleppinger and Bruce Gradkowski, I am Ari Wolf saying good afternoon from Logan, Utah. Final score, 59-28. Watch stadium.com or search Stadium, your local channel guide, to catch a replay of this game. Take care, everybody.